deep inside of me. Girl, you just don't realize what you do to me. When you hold me in your arms so tight, you let me know everything's alright. I'm hooked on a feeling, and I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. It's as sweet as candy, your taste is on my mind. Girl, you got me thirsty for another cup of wine. Got a buzz from you, girl, but I don't need no cure. I'll just stay affected if I can't be sure of the good love when we're all alone. Keep it up, girl. Yeah, you turn me on. I'm hooked on a feeling, and I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. Hooked on a feeling, and I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. Yeah. I can't stop this feeling deep inside me. Girl, you just don't realize what you do to me. All the good love when we're all alone. Keep it up, girl. Yeah, you turn me on. I'm hooked on a feeling, and I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. I'm hooked on a feeling, and I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. Hooked on a feeling, I'm hooked on a feeling, I'm believing, I'm hooked on a
Ha 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 ha! Mic Chan check! Oh, yeah! Monty the Spiral in the house! We got my Dasu crew! Yeah! As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you talking and where you walking, or you and your homies might be lined in the chalk. I really hate to trip, but I got to load as they crockety myself in the pistol smoke. Fool, I'm the kind of G that lolly homies wanna be, like on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street light. We've been spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We've been spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Look at the situation because I'm a rabbit. Oh, safe, bruv. Don't know about you, but I'm in the mood for chili dogs. Yeah, innit, bruv?
Ah, no more ear rape. Ear rape. God damn. Oh, that's fucking horrible.
Doug,
Oh.
play my pick again after that because I did not realize it was that bad.
Play what?
My choice, because that's fucking 10 billion times better. Just do it. We need a palate cleanser. We need a palate cleanser after that. Like, if I had known, I just went through the Lobby soundtrack and I'm just like, oh, let's see. Oh, there's one from me. There's one from Tyro, and then there's one from Ichabod. So we'll just do those three. Like, boom, whatever. And Gangster's Paradise. Why not? I did not realize that the Gangster's Paradise was that kind of shit. So please, just play my choice because it's a good one,
okay.
and we might as well
Okay, here we go again.
cleanse ourselves with some big dick energy.
And here is Sarah Aras doing My Dick is Very Big.
My dick is big, my dick is very big, my dick is big, it's big, my dick is very big.
It's big, it's very, very big. I think it's big, it's big, it's very, very big.
My dick so big, it did it so. My dick so big, it lives next door. My dick so big, that all I want is fuck the world. My dick so big, it touched the sky. I check it as a luggage when I fly. My dick so big, it's behind you, it follows you. My dick is big, it's big. My dick is big, it's big. Check it out, check it out. My dick is big, my dick is very big, my dick is big, it's big, my dick is very big. My dick so big, so really big, black holes move toward my dick. My dick so big, it can be banned.
It will be our president.
My dick so big that any place it can distort the time and space. My dick so big, it's behind you, it follows you.
It follows you.
All right then. Ugh.
That was better. That's the way we do.
It was, but I mean, we had to survive David Hasselhoff doing a cover of Hooked on a Feeling. And whatever the fuck that was with Gangsta's Paradise.
Yo,
the name is Eli Monty? Or Ela Monty?
I have no idea. It was, like I said, I grabbed it from the Lobby soundtrack. Special shout out to Tyro Incohate, Moonhopper, whatever he calls himself, Tyro, for the David Hasselhoff, whatever, and special beratement to Ichabod or Kun Doom or Orange Citrus Glass, whatever he calls himself, Kun. Special beratement to him for whatever that was to Gangster's Paradise.
That was really bad. That was really, really bad.
And of course, I chose the Big Dick Energy song because, yeah.
And really, if you're going to actually enjoy that song, you got to go watch the video.
Oh God, the video is like so good. I chose one other song by them.
Yeah.
And it's in the except it's the quote unquote romantic version. But it's in the lobby soundtrack. And you know what, Doc? I'll find it for you so you can have that kind of playing in the background. Does that sound like an idea?
No, I'm really too traumatized to even think about background music currently. I'm just
You know what? The sad thing is, the David Hasselhoff song was not even the worst one.
Yeah, that's true. He can do a cover song very well because he never had to write it or anything. And of course, the Norm Macdonald joke, because Germans love David Hasselhoff.
They really do. They really, really do.
Well, you know, he did actually sing at the felling of the Berlin Wall. They brought him in when they were knocking down the Berlin Wall, and he sang on top of it.
I remembered hearing about that.
That's right. You really weren't alive back then.
I was not. No. I'm a lot younger than my cynicism allows me to sound.
Yeah.
My cynicism ages me by like 10 to 15 years. So
Well, and it was funny. Well, who was it? Hardcore sent me a DM and said, when do you think that America started losing their optimism? And that was an immediate answer for me. I'm like, the 90s, because cocaine was no longer readily available.
I slightly disagree. Was that a pickle? Or was that you just grunting in reply?
I am the Full Metal Pickle.
From the Full Metal Pickle channel. Praise the Gherkin.
Yeah, because I don't know. He's got a new rap now, and okay, I didn't know his old rap because I forget shit. So,
his new rap is something along the lines of, I am the Full Metal Pickle from the Full Metal Pickle channel. I run midweek a show called Nocturnal Transmissions. It's the pre-IRS nighttime show. So stop by.
No,
something along those lines. Mind you, I don't have it down quite yet. I still need to listen to him do it like 47 more times. But one of these days, Alice, one of these days.
To the moon. Pow.
Yeah.
You know what? I wasn't even alive for that show. I was alive.
We all know the quote, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, I was alive for the 70s Lucy show. Ricky wasn't around anymore, but she worked at a bank.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually, I'm almost positive they did a Beverly Hillbillies crossover.
Don't quote me. I don't know.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I wasn't alive back then either.
Well, but back in the day, to see a crossover show, that was rare. That was a rare thing happening.
Oh, I remember still like, in the 90s, some of the crossover like cartoon shows that they would do, and then I guess Disney started doing that with some of their like whatever kids shows and stuff. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But like crossovers still are kind of a rarity unless you count like Marvel DC like shows and stuff. Because
yeah, I was gonna say because the CW is finishing up their Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah, but again, it's DC, so it's all the same world, so it's not necessarily a crossover. not quite so much. I wouldn't consider it. Um, one of the things that CW or a lot of fans were saying they wanted to happen because I guess Jensen Ackles and
Who the fuck's that?
well, I know Jensen Ackles for sure, maybe Jared Padalecki, but the guys from Supernatural.
Okay.
One of them was saying like, you know what would be a great way to end like fuck, what was this stupid show? The Vampire Diaries. But they were saying like if that ended before Supernatural did, a great way for their final episode would be for the Supernatural guys to drive in to the vampire town or whatever, I guess.
I never watched it.
Yeah, and have them like drive into the show. Like that they thought that'd be a great way to end the season, and I think that'd be anyway, I'm rambling already.
Haha. You must have insomnia.
Uh-huh.
It must be for insomniacs. So let's say some good morning, shall we?
And apologies.
Because there's like 5 people watching us currently. So we are
Nice.
we are fit to entertain. So with that, good morning 3-4 Yoda. Good morning TM Ryder. Good morning Alistair Mycroft. Good morning Gulf City Spectral Umbreon. That was a mouthful, wasn't it? Good morning our goat and immortal Turish. Good morning, Samaji. Yes, I went ahead and sent that to you. I DM'd you via Dare Discord. And you're gonna laugh when you actually see what the name of my my email is. Good morning, another one of our immortals, Ghost Dog 999. Good morning to the Full Metal Pickle. Yeah, that's it.
Hi TM Ryder, hi 3-4 Yoda, hi Alistair, hi Gulf City Umbreon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the rest of it. To Turish. Also hi to Ghost Dog 999. And hi Samaji. And then Pickle.
And then you are correct. 100%.
Really?
Yeah.
I was trying to count them in my head, like as I was going through and I'm listening. But yeah, praise the cricket, whatever. You know, you fucking know. Get your fucking briny ass in here, you little shit, and do the thing. It entertains me. AKA, sup bitches. By the way, if you too also like to express the urge to say sup bitches, but want to do it just visually rather than purely vocally, feel free to stop by Doc Griffin's Tea Public Store. That's right, Doc Griffin's Tea Public Store, where you can find Cadunt Sup Bitches design, as well as 3, am I correct in saying 3 Sir Adamantine designs?
You are correct.
So stop by Doc Griffin's Tea Public Store and buy something, damn it.
And there's the shirts up on the screen. And Alistair, that's the benefit of being part of the Discord server of ours, is that you can suggest music and we eventually do play it. Sometimes to our own regret, but we do play it.
Multiple times so far. Multiple times. A lot of times too, Doc's regret with some of the stuff that I've suggested. Dear gods, I'm still saying though, all of my suggestions have been better than that song. Like the Bobs and Vagine song, like that one was definitely a lot better.
Yeah.
That one was brilliant.
Yeah, and then the Chicken Attack song.
No.
Mwah.
No, you have to see the video with that one to make it good. Because yodeling Asians, no, I can't say anything good about yodeling Asians. And by the
Hi,
way,
Pickle.
good morning. Welcome to the stream. Our Lord and Savior, the Full Metal Pickle.
Praise the Gherkin.
See, he was waiting for you to do it, Kadant.
I was.
I was trying to be polite. I was gonna see if he was gonna do the sup bitches of the praise of the gherkin, and I was gonna do the opposite.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Because, like, obviously, Pickle and I sound so much alike that we're interchangeable now.
It's true. It's true.
By the way,
Oh.
good morning. Buzz slid into the chat. Good morning, Buzz of the Hive. And you know what? I'm the only one who didn't do like an unboxing video yet for the Underground Honey Railroad being snuck around the country to several people. Although I do have to say I liked Kadunts, but Tom P, goddammit, if you're gonna get an edible product, fucking take a taste of it. Don't just say, "Hey, I got this in the mail."
He said he's gonna do a second video of it.
Okay.
I mean, I know I had to like give a more in-depth review, but I tasted it when I first opened it, and dear God, like I couldn't help it. Like my thigh, like speaking of which, I forgot to say, hi, honey, do. You are the beekeeper, and we call you Buzz of the Hive. Every single time and I told him every time I see him or I hear his name, I can't help but think sugar dun 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 dun. Aw, honey.
Okay, so because I'm thinking, AC/DC. I can't tell you which song, but they do say something about money and honey. Yeah, that I didn't have any more to that. By the way, tonight is the 16th night or the 16th show?
17th show.
17th? Okay.
At least 17th, if not 18th, to be honest, because I know we did
No.
16th already.
No, I know it's
I
not 18th.
remembered that number.
I know it's not 18th.
Okay, so 17th.
See, I thought 16 was closing out yesterday.
Yeah, he finished the 16th the other night then.
Okay, so we're on 17. This is show number 17 with Turish as the Intergender Champion of the World. And that's tough because, he is already the GOAT. You can tell by the graphic. He's got the happy goat there, right next to him. Two-time immortal, two-time. And I'll be honest with you, I think, this is a matter of physics. The longer the reign goes, the more difficult it is to be usurping him as the GOAT. So I got a feeling he's going to be a GOAT for quite a while. A pretty long time. Basically, all you need is 9 consecutive shows to become one of the immortals to the Hall of the Immortals. That might sound easy. It's not. But then again, to become the GOAT, yeah, you're going to have to, we're on day 17 now. Oh, good luck to anybody who's thinking of beating that one. That one's going to hang around for quite a long time. And even if somebody knocks him out the blocks, if you want to get into the Hall of the Immortals, it's going to take you 9 successive shows to do it. And it couldn't happen to a nicer Canadian. That's right.
That's right.
I should mention we're going to talk about this sometime. That is, if a wild Zell magically appears. I did watch Star Wars 9. Star Wars Part 9, that is. By the way, good morning. Welcome to the stream, 3-4.
Good evening. Good evening.
But yeah, I watched part 9 there, and I was not impressed. It wasn't as shitty as I thought it was going to be, but it definitely did not exceed my expectations. It subverted them. And the one
Oh.
and the one thing I will say is anything that gets achieved in this movie is done by a woman. So there's your warning. That's all I'm going to say.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
I plan on watching it, period. In theaters.
No, I am no, there's no fucking way I'm going to spend, not even if it was $2 matinee. I mean, there's a lot of eye candy there because I'll give this to J.J. Abrams. That poor bastard was just like handed a shit sandwich and just kept trying to eat the bread around it so he didn't taste the shit. He tried. He even literally there was some of the bullshit that Ryan Johnson did. He literally explained it away. There's like 3 major things I could think of that he explained away.
Well, there's a rumor out there, at least according to Midnight's Edge, that there's actually a George Lucas cut of the film.
Yeah.
And that Kennedy fucking outright rejected it and went with her cut.
Well, yeah, because Kathleen Kennedy had final cut.
More like senatorial hearings and midichlorians?
No, here's the funny thing that Kathleen Kennedy's cut was more SJWE and Chicks Rule, almost like the very end of it, like Ray had godlike powers. And George Lucas's was more talking about whatever those Watcher things were. Another race of beings that were watching this saga as it went along. And what came out in theaters was kind of a hodgepodge of both of them. So nobody got what they wanted. But it, like Midnight's Edge and Doomcock and Nerdrotic said, Lucas literally had mapped out the next trilogy and had handed it in. And Fox had it. And they didn't want to do shit with it.
See, all I know for sure. Well, then again, considering that Lucas had done the prequels and those got shot all over. But one of the rumors I'd heard was that there's plans of doing either another trilogy, if not a series, that's about the Old Republic.
I never watched the cartoon.
No, it's not necessarily about the cartoon. It's some other lore.
What?
Pre-original trilogy.
But I thought it was the cartoon that broached the Old Republic so it could tie in with the video game.
Oh, I don't know. Never saw that.
But because I remember when Dark Horse Comics came out with their Star Wars, but it was a continuation. But it was a continuation of Luke. So, and I would recommend those if anybody can find those in a trade paperbacks. They were very well done. If you got to give Dark Horse anything, it's they took all the movie properties that they got a hold of and really did a good job on it, especially the Predator versus Alien series. If you guys have seen the Predator versus Alien movies, fucking just throw them in the trash because, good God, man, the series that Dark Horse did, they were pretty fucking awesome. They do chicken right.
See, I'm just one of the things I'm pissed about that Disney got rid of in Star Wars, over all of this was they got rid of Mara Jade.
I don't know what that is.
Luke Skywalker's wife.
Mm-hmm. He actually had a wife. This was when he pretty much went to Grey Jedi.
Is this like? Is this like? Is this
It's
like
extended universe, which doesn't
Yeah.
exist anymore.
Is this
Nope.
was this comic book? Was this
No, it's
cartoon?
it
was it
part
video
of the
game?
book series, right?
Novels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Novelizations. By the way, good morning. Welcome to the stream, Samaj.
Well, I
Hi,
heard you guys talk.
Samaji.
Hey, I heard you guys talking Star Wars. So I thought I'd pop in.
Yes,
Yeah,
please
so-
go ahead and
Samaj,
get,
I'll say
get
this
your nerd
much.
on while I indulge in some honey.
Samaj, I will say this much. It's not as bad as everybody said it was going to be. That's the best compliment that I can give it. I can see where J.J. Abrams was just, what was the one critic said? Ryan Johnson punched so many holes in this boat that J.J. Abrams will not be able to bail it fast enough to keep it from sinking. And I thought he did a semi-decent job, especially when you take into consideration that Kathleen Kennedy technically did have final cut.
Well, it still wasn't the worst reviewed movie of the week, though. That
What
goes
was the
to
worst
Cats.
review? Oh God,
no.
I see. I have a strange love for the play, for the musical. I refuse to watch that, mostly because, like, I hate Taylor Swift. I don't mean to hate Taylor Swift.
Oh
I
God,
don't
Taylor
know why.
Swift's
I just
in it.
kind of want to punch her in her face. Like, she seems like one of those kinds of man-eater cunts, and I'm not down for that kind of shit. But I refuse.
By the way, can I just say one thing about the Star Wars movie?
Yes.
What the fuck are people going all ham about with the lesbian kiss? Who the fuck cares? It was like one kiss, lasted like a second on screen time. It was two chicks. You didn't know who their fucking characters were. You don't really care. And it was just a mwah, and it was done with.
Well, for one, all right. So I'm gonna speak on this in two respects. Why one group may be going crazy is because, they're all about, like, finally some representation. Why another group might be going crazy is, how dare they put that debaucherous shit inside of our Star Wars movies? God help the children.
I think I think the main reason why a lot of people are upset is because early on, ever since the very first of the Disney Star Wars movies, they had made a big hullabaloo of saying that Rey was the first lesbian female Star Wars character.
Did they?
Rey was yes, she was supposed to be a lesbian. The reason why they're
Who's that bullshit?
Well, the reason why they stopped doing that is because lesbians don't sell in China. They don't like that. They don't like gays. They don't like blacks. They don't like all the other kind of stuff. And so they changed that. They just stopped talking about it. But the articles still exist. Or at least people have already captured them and all that stuff. Rey was supposed to be the lesbian champion.
Really?
And of course, it didn't make money.
Yeah.
So they silently got rid of that. Same thing within the Fall of the Jedi, or whatever the second movie was. Finn was supposed to get together with
Kadant, stop
Rose
shaking
at
your
the end.
packet. I hear you packet shaking. I'm sorry. Continue.
So
Samaj.
Finn was supposed to get together with Rose. You were saying.
Yeah, the Asian. They had a kiss and all. That was at the end of it. But again, that people weren't happy about that. So in the third movie, spoiler to anyone here who hasn't seen it, in the third movie,
Don't give it away.
What do you mean?
Just don't.
Because-
not yet. Just
because
because
she's
there are
gonna go
some
see it.
people who really it's still so fresh out in the theaters. Don't do the spoilers yet. Mind you, I love spoilers, so feel free to tell me all of the spoilers. I'm planning on seeing it anyway in theaters because My money, my choice.
Can I give you one spoiler, Kadant? Are you ready? And this is real deal Holyfield. Ray dies.
Okay.
There you go. Ray dies.
Okay.
There's a big spoiler for you.
And nothing of value was lost.
Samaj, please do continue.
Okay.
Make some sense of this for me, please.
Makes some sense. Okay, so as I was saying, so Rose and Finn was supposed to be a couple towards the end because they had that big kiss, and she saved his life. Yeah. So spoilers to everyone. In the third movie, they don't kiss. They don't even really have much of a conversation together. In fact, a new female character gets introduced as a potential love interest in this movie, and he spends more time with her.
And
Essentially, this romantic couple, the guy's cheating on her, and they don't acknowledge it.
And Samaj, what color does the new love interest happen to be?
She happens to be black. With the exact same backstory as Finn.
Yep.
So, yeah, what does that tell you? This is probably the most regressive Star Wars movie of all time.
Although
you know what it tells me, they watched an episode of South Park where Cartman was playing Little Cupid and trying to get the two black kids together because black belongs together.
I remember that one. Oh boy, that was bad.
By the way, the one thing that I really liked about it is that J.J. Abrams did give a role to his good luck charm, Greg Grunberg. He did show up as an X-wing pilot.
Yeah, he was in the last one also.
I don't even know who that is.
Greg Grunberg got his. I mean, he's been in every J.J. Abrams movie, but you probably know him as like the psychic cop from
Heroes.
Yeah, from Heroes.
I never watched Heroes.
Oh, Heroes was good the first season.
Mm-hmm.
Save the cheerleader, save the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. By the way, good morning, Octane Gamer. Welcome to the stream.
Good morning. What's going on over here?
He was the okay, here's the easiest way I can explain it without and fuck anybody if they think I'm being a I don't know, whatever you call it, making fun of fat people, but he was the fat X-wing pilot. Because he only had like one really fat X-wing pilot, and that was Greg Grunberg.
Okay, I'll take your word for that one. I'm not entirely certain.
Well, unless you count Porkins.
Well, I mean, in this series of them, because apparently they're only allowed to have one fat one. Like there's like there's some affirmative action. You have to have like one fat X-wing pilot in every series. I could see where this could be a popcorn movie, but then again, I can see where a shit ton of Star Wars fanatics, they already had their rage boner fully erect before they even walked into the theater.
Oh yeah, no.
I don't really think. Yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
I don't think that this was a movie for anyone. Because I look at the first half and the pacing is so fast. It's like the movie's on fast forward. It's like we got to get through all the expedition, like almost an entire movie's worth of development that the last movie skipped over.
Yeah,
because the first half is so fucking fast. Like nothing has time to process. They didn't even bother going into like why the Emperor. Like if they explain why the Emperor was there, I can't remember. I can't figure it out.
Somebody had posted a thing that the whole thing with Palpatine being there.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah.
But the whole thing with that, and there I go, giving away quote unquote spoilers. I'm sorry.
Anybody who's going to see this movie
revealed in Fortnite.
I can see that.
Yeah, they did when they had that special Star Wars event when J.J. Abrams came out and danced around in Fortnite. They played like 3 or 4 clips, and one of them was Palpatine doing a speech, or part of his speech. So
Palpatine.
I'm still gonna go and see it.
I mean,
I like. There's nobody who can talk me out of going and seeing this movie in the theaters, like except for my wallet, you know. And I have been setting money aside just to be able to get the movie ticket.
yeah, no, I mean, you should probably see it. I think this is, in my personal opinion, if I had to predict the future on Star Wars, this is going to be thrown down the memory hole. Hollywood's going to try their hardest to pretend like this didn't happen.
yeah.
I think it could take 5 years, but I think that they're going to reboot the last 3 movies, get a whole new cast, and go back to the George Lucas script they had going.
Well, but here's the thing, Samaj. Do you think that Disney would have the patience to put it in the deep freeze for 4 or 5 years?
They know perfectly well that the audience isn't going to be there, because the audience has been burnt out on these movies, and they're not happy with the treatment, especially from reviewers. They're not happy with like the director saying, calling people man babies and all the other harassing nonsense that they've been doing. So they have to, and if they want to make any money in the theaters as a brand, they're going to have to reboot it. So I think that get a copy of these bad Star Wars movies, get them while you can, because they're going to memory hole it, and they're going to destroy every copy they can get. And those copies that you have are going to be rare collector's items. Think of it as which could have been the plan all along. This is going to be like the Star Wars Christmas special, the thing that George Lucas tried to destroy. If you get a copy of it, it's worth lots. These movies are going to be worth lots.
And you know what? I just connected the dots on this. Disney is the only movie studio that goes, well, we're going to put it in the vault and then wait like 15 years and do a special release on it. Then we're going to put it back in the vault. They do that with movies all the time.
I think the only exception here is that they're going to try your best to make you forget it. It's like think like E.T., the Atari game. Everyone tried to get rid of. There was like a landfill of that, and then it became like a sunken or a treasure hunt, trying to find the where E.T. was buried. The piles and piles of unsold video games.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that documentary. That one was pretty fun.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get the same thing for these Star Wars movies. So as much as it pains me to go out and get a copy, I'm gonna get a copy because I have a hint. I have an idea that it's just gonna be trying to make it disappear. Like The Mandalorian is doing so well, and these Star Wars movies are doing so poorly that yeah.
Well,
I imagine So go for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because the Mandalorian, I mean, if you really want to break it down, sure, it's in the Star Wars universe, but it's a fucking cowboy movie. It is a fucking Wild West movie.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't had that type of storytelling in a long time. And now here's the thing. People always associate Jon Favreau with the Marvel Universe. Sure, he helped to kickstart it. Do you remember the movie that they called a Jumanji in space? I think it was Zarathros?
Zathura.
Or Zathura, thank you.
Yeah, I saw it in theaters.
That was not a bad movie either. I don't think Favreau's made a horrible movie yet. And I think this was kind of in his wheelhouse, because the first thing he said before they even started filming was, yeah, I'm a Star Wars fan. So you're actually having somebody, unlike Rian Johnson, who was not a Star Wars fan, that was, a Kathleen Kennedy agenda pusher. Somebody make it, even though the Baby Yoda makes no fucking sense. Let's go ahead. Let's give him that one and just keep rolling with the whole cowboy thing.
But I'm cute.
I actually like the Baby Yoda thing more than I thought I would. I didn't think I would, but I actually like it. I don't think I'll go out there and buy a Baby Yoda plushie. I will fucking go out there and buy a Mandalorian though. They sold me on Mandalorian. I've been looking at like Hot Toys and seeing how much they're charging those Mandalorian toys. I'm like, I might get one. I can't afford it, but want one.
Don't worry, Samaj. I'll cuddle with you.
Just no, stay away.
Let
Stay away.
me find out here, because yeah, I know they fucked up because they had no idea how popular that Baby Yoda was going to be.
Well,
but if I can parallel this, when I was a kid, they had no idea how big Star Wars was going to be. So legitimately, Kenner Toys sold you a box with a promise that you would get these toys when they could produce them. So for Christmas, you got an empty fucking box from Kenner saying that, yes, we're going to send you these Star Wars toys. I don't see why they couldn't do that for Baby Yoda.
Well, they probably will. In fact, with the internet now, you can pre-order stuff before they come out. So you can go into the Big Bad Toy Store. You can pre-order all the Baby Yoda merchandise you could possibly want. In this particular case, with the Mandalorian, because from what I could tell by looking into it, they didn't know. Well, it's true they didn't know what the demand was going to be, but it was also that they had no faith in the Star Wars brand.
Oh yeah.
You will have noticed if you're ever headed over to a Walmart, unlike the other Star Wars movies, there's very few merchandise for this new movie, and I think that's because well, one, if you look up because most of the Star Wars toys are developed by Hasbro, these new ones, the Mandalorian ones, are being developed by Mattel. So if a different company has to make your toys for you, that's usually not a good sign. And it's been believed that the Star Wars brand is what was responsible for making Toys R Us go bankrupt.
Yeah.
Considering how much unsold merchandise there was.
By the way, I
don't
did
wanna
go
up on the
ahead.
Toys R Us kid.
I did go ahead and no context tweet the picture of the Mandalorian 6-inch figure that you can get right now through Amazon, and it's only $30.
I might get it. I don't know. I was surprised at how sold I was on this show. I thought, oh, this is so cool. It just keeps getting better. I even wanted. They had an episode recently where they had to bust a guy out of a jail or out of a spaceship that's sending people to a type of jail, and they had this whole crew. I fucking want the crew. Why is this show hooking me so much? And I realized I think it's because it's the only Star Wars modern day brand that's been made pretty much for guys and men, because it's just a power fantasy of just going around there and having adventures and stuff like shooting things. Like, I don't know.
It's good old fashioned storytelling.
That too, yeah.
I mean, basically, it doesn't take. There's people shitting all over the Mandalorian because they're saying that, oh, it's just a basic bullshit plot that's been done before, and it's like, you know what? Every fucking plot has been done before. It just all depends on how you handle it.
And even if it was, let's give them what they're saying, and everything they're saying is absolutely accurate. This has all been done before and all that. So what? Just because it's been done before doesn't mean it's not a good story. Or just because you might be able to predict how it's going to end doesn't mean you can't have fun on the journey.
Yeah, that it no longer can be told well because it's already been told the bestest it can ever be told. That's right. That's fucking wrong. That's and that's retarded, and it's gay. I just had to get my quota of retarded and gay out. Oh, hey, they even have IG-11.
Which one was IG-11?
That was the robot bounty hunter in the second one.
Oh, the droid. Oh, yeah. I fucking love that thing. Oh, I will self-destruct them. No, I will now. No. I
think they did a great job with it. I do. I'm I'm really enjoying Mandalorian. It has not failed me. Well, now is that because and this is one of Zell's arguments that it was basically set on a level of low expectation. I don't know if I necessarily believe that.
I mean, I think that the fact that it is as good as it is a sign of itself. I mean, we've seen Star Wars and it's been so bad. So I mean, yeah, I think that could be a factor. I don't know if it's the deciding factor, because if it just because it's consistently been good. I will say though, there is the odd plot hole from time to time. Like, I'm not sold on this force healing thing.
Well,
sorry?
What about the force teleportation?
Fuck no. Fuck that nonsense. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Absolute bullshit.
Well, that was there.
It was spoiler, folks. It's in the Star Wars movie just came out.
Well, I'm not saying how they did it. I'm just saying that it did happen.
Well, yeah, I know. It did happen, but that's not how the Force works. The Force can't magically transport things from point A to point B. You can't communicate with people with the Force. You can't. There's things
unless they're dead.
Well, Force ghosts are a thing, which there again, Force ghosts can't do much like interact and grab things. That's a little bit different.
Well, but they did have kind of an explanation about the whole Ben and Ray deal. They did have kind of an explanation why they could do the telepathy across the galaxy kind of deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great Wi-Fi access?
Kinda, yeah. If you want to call the Force Wi-Fi access, yes. I'm a firm believer
that Wi-Fi is just creation of the Force. Just saying, like, may the Force be with you means. Yeah. May the Force be with you is basically, I hope you have great internet connection.
Have you tried turning your midichlorians off and back on?
Oh, no. Headcanon accepted.
By the way, good morning to Jeremy06 and good morning to Daytois.
Hi, Jeremy06. Hi, Daytois.
But yeah, you could see there was somebody furiously writing as they were filming this shit going, oh, fuck, we need to explain this away. We need to explain this away. And I'm sure that at least once a week, they had a goddamn you Rian Johnson party.
Probably.
Where they would just drink and commiserate.
Like this particular... Well, I think part of the problem with that is with Rian Johnson is that it was an ending to the trilogy. The big bad was done. There's a resolution between the characters, give or take. But you still have to make another movie. And so Rian Johnson probably thought, well, you guys can just start a new series, can't you? Well, it doesn't quite work that way.
Well, and really, I watched Knives Out, which was the one that they kind of pigeonholed for a hot second. But his most recent one is called Knives Out, and it's a murder mystery. It's like an Agatha Christie kind of deal. And really, at this point, all I can say is there's only one really good movie that Rian Johnson has made, and that's Brick. That's not in any way. Oh fuck! I just blanked on it. Looper. I didn't like Looper. I thought Looper did not. You know what? If you're gonna tackle time travel, you better nail that shit down. You better have, a basic chart set up to where you can explain it to the audience and get it explained right then, right there, so you can jump into it and just enjoy the movie. I spent a lot of time in Looper going, well, wait a minute. Why can they fucking do this? This is dumb. This is bullshit. And that's the exact same train of thought that he went into when he did The Last Jedi, whatever it was, number 8. When he did his Star Wars movie, that's the whole thing. Oh well, concept is completely okay. We don't have to have a follow through or a logical explanation. And it's like, wait a minute, you're going into a series that has 40 fucking years of lore. Yes, you do. You have to. I mean, before the interwebs and everything, there were magazines. Yeah, these things that were made of paper where fans would even do like mimeographs and have Star Wars fan club and pass them around with theory upon theory of how did this work? How did that work? Then there were people from JPL and NASA chiming in on, well, yeah, this could work this way and this could work that way. And Rian Johnson was like, fuck it. It's my magical fantasy playground. I don't have to explain dick. And he didn't. And I think that's why most of the Star Wars fans have a real anger towards this guy, because he had no respect for the canon. But then again, neither did Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. Kathleen Kennedy, I do think, was the predominant problem in all this because of the direction that Star Wars took.
Yeah.
There's no reason why... Yeah?
No, go ahead.
There's no reason that Star Wars should have gone in this direction. It should have been like, and now we know that George Lucas had an outline, like for 3 more movies. He was just gonna, here's the outline. Let's get another writers in there to finish the story, and then, we'll get someone else to direct it. It seemed like a perfectly reasonable thing to do, considering. And then once he did his last 3 movies, I mean that would have been it, and then everyone would have been happy.
Samaj, within the next 5 years that detailed outline is going to find its way onto the internet. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure there's multiple people out there who have a copy of it. So who knows? Who knows how that could play out?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading it, because I read the recent and what's his name, Warner or Warno, whatever it is, the 2 guys who wrote Deadpool, and I had their original script in my hand 6 or 7 years before Deadpool actually came out, and I was like, why aren't these people making this movie? This movie would be a blast. And I would say probably 50% of what you saw in the original Deadpool movie was in their script. Mm-hmm. They had a couple other characters that they wanted to bring in, but, basically they were told by Fox that they couldn't have them. So I can see where the rewrites happened. But Colossus was in the original script too.
Well, rewrites tend to happen for multiple different reasons. I think part of the reason why, because this was supposed to be the Boba Fett show.
Yeah.
And they of course couldn't do that, so they scrapped it and made it The Mandalorian. Part of the reason for that is for legal reasons, because we found out that if you have characters, you have to make them at least 20% different in order so that way you don't actually have to pay George Lucas. So that's why you see the redesign of the Stormtroopers with the black connecting and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's 20% different. They don't have to pay George Lucas for Stormtroopers. C-3PO having a red arm, that's 20% different. You don't have to pay him for that. The satellite dish on the Millennium Falcon, it's different. That counts as 20%. So
yeah,
that means you don't have to pay. So
yeah, what they made it square, right? Didn't they make it square instead of round?
I don't recall what the shape was, but they made it different. And in the case of The Mandalorian, it's kind of the same thing, because instead of making it Boba Fett, you make it a wholly new character. Well, there again, you don't have to pay him for that either. So it's more or less, we're trying to find ways to not pay George Lucas. And it's like they're trying to cut corners so that way they can save money. Because they spent like $6 billion or whatever it was for the whole Star Wars franchise, which is a lot of money for one franchise. I think they spent about, what was it, like maybe $10 billion for Marvel, and that has a huge library that they can draw on. So that's a lot for them to work with. So Marvel's makes a lot more money than Star Wars. And well, you see how Star Wars went if you didn't stick to the proper storylines.
Well, yeah, because once again, I mean, okay, Marvel wins because they have like 70 years of lore. But good God, I mean, if you've got a property that's got 40 years worth of lore, then why aren't you treating this like, you know, it's your favorite child and not the redheaded stepchild you keep in the basement?
Well, and part of the reason why you buy a franchise is for the fandom, because you already have a preset audience. So that means if you make a product, you already have all these people who are already going to view it. The problem is, though, is that when Kathleen Kennedy took over, she decided she wanted a more female audience and decided to alienate the already existing fan base. So then you effectively make what you're purchasing useless, because you make these movies for these people, so that way they'll go out and buy tickets and buy seats.
Well,
but she wanted this, yeah.
Well, and here's here. I just looked this up. Disney acquired Marvel Entertainment for $4.24 billion in 2009. It has made them so far since 2009 $22 billion.
Right. So Marvel was a great investment.
Now let's find out how much Lucasfilm cost. Let's see. Well, Lucasfilm was bought by Disney 6 years ago for $4 billion.
Right.
And currently, right now, as of 2017, they have grossed an amazing $4.8 billion at the box office.
So they essentially made their money back. Unfortunately, advertising costs is about the same as what you would spend, so they probably still lost money.
Yeah, I would say so. But then again, they get a chunk of the toy revenue too. So who knows?
But the toys aren't selling.
What you don't have many copies of Rose Tico sitting at home?
I don't have a single one, and you would think I would, because oddly enough, I actually do have an almost complete collection of these Disney Star Wars toys. But my motto is that I'll only buy them if they're at the dollar store. So I have quite the collection, and I will say these are fairly decent quality toys. I like the build. I like the posability. I'm quite happy with how they come out. With that said, though, I'm only paying $1 a toy. But you get something like good like the Mandalorian, I'll pay full price on that.
I paid like $1.32 for a Rose Tico at Toys R Us before it shut down around here, and I melted her head.
Oh,
I melted her head with a lighter.
And that's why you get things like getting shadow banned, because no one wants to see you be abusive to toys.
Yeah,
I've seen Toy Story. You're committing murder.
I know, but they had so many more of them that that they wouldn't miss just one.
That's true. That's true enough.
Yeah,
I was surprised. I was going over my Star Wars toys the other day, and I actually need a bigger box because they keep coming out with more. And I know there's a whole set of toys coming out. They'll come out to the dollar store probably in the next couple months or so.
Oh, dude, I had like the because of how old I was, I buried like the original Star Wars toys, because I didn't want my mom to sell them in the garage sale, so I buried them in the backyard.
Oh yeah.
And then we were digging up the backyard many years later, making a garden, and we had one of those old Troy-Bilt tillers, and at the point where we started seeing chunks of Star Wars figures come up was the moment that I remembered that I had buried them back there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, but they were like the original Kenners.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I fucked them up bad. Because, them living in dirt for as many years as they did, you would think you could just wash them and somebody would want them. I had like, what was it? The one that the one that really cost money when I looked it up, it was one of the original Darth Vaders that had like the little nubby at the end of the lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently that was a production flaw, that it wasn't supposed to have like a little, like a nipple almost at the end of the lightsaber. And yeah, shredded that. Didn't mean to. I did mean to kill Rostico, and I would do it again.
There you go.
Kadan,
Mm-hmm.
apparently they're saying that the character that AP used to represent you in the Scooby Saga is in the movie somewhere, but I didn't see her. The Ashaka?
No, she's one of the Jedi past. I'm very, very aware
Oh,
of
is
that
it?
whole thing. And actually a lot of people were like really like they did all this stuff to make sure, you know, something bad didn't happen. She survived and all the gist and blah 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 blah, and they kill her off screen.
Well, technically everybody who was talking to her was dead in the series. Everybody was dead already. All the Jedi voices. Although it would have been fun had they have had all the Sith voices channel in to to Palpatine, because that would have been like what, like 4 guys. And wait a minute, Darth Maul didn't even speak. So what are they going to do? Like sign language? Were they going to Helen Keller him in?
I don't know.
Well, I know Darth Maul spoke in the I think
Solo
it was the
movie?
Clone Wars.
Oh,
I didn't watch any of the cartoons, so I
Yeah,
have
look,
I have no
Because
basis.
the CG, because like they did like this really like they actually went into a lot of his like the rest of his story, and actually like went into his world and a lot of the backstory in that in the CG stuff. So
you got to meet
like
his brother. That was
the
interesting.
TV show, yeah, and then the fucking the what are the fucking names of the witches,
I
you
don't
know?
remember. I don't remember
And
their
like it
names,
showed him
but-
getting his new legs and all this jazz, like
and there's a small, so like I wouldn't be surprised if they actually used this. There was a guy on YouTube who did a video. He's a filmmaker. He was talking about how you shouldn't have killed Darth Maul. He should have survived the fall and got robot legs, and he went on this whole script of what the next movie should have been like. And what was weird is that you watch the Clone Wars, and when Darth Maul comes back, he gets his robot legs, and then all the other stuff happened that this guy was talking about. I'm like, oh, did you guys just use his script idea from a YouTuber? 'Cause it sounds like it.
Hey, if the Star Trek people can steal ideas.
Well, and maybe they brought him on, or maybe they hired and paid for his script or something. I don't know. What I do know is like, oh, there's a nice little connection there. As for Darth Maul, he did speak in episode 1, very briefly. Didn't say a lot. And he was played by the same guy who plays Toad from the X-Men movie. So that was interesting.
Yeah, Ray Parks.
Yeah.
Which I like.
Amazing stunt man. You ever see the movie Fanboys?
Oh, that's what I was going to bring up. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a scene where he plays as one of the security guards and he does some of the fucking Darth Maul moves.
That's cool.
I
actually never seen that one. I should give that a watch.
Anybody who has not seen Fanboys that like Star Wars, you need to.
dude, there's this one video I saw. It was a convention, and the guy who played Darth Maul, I think it was a martial arts convention actually, but he started doing the fucking moves on stage, and it was so like I'm good with that.
Kadunti,
Uh-huh.
do me one favor.
Get a towel. I'm already on it.
No, we are not ever going to have a sploosh discussion between you and I. That is
Yes, Dad.
That's not going to happen. But look at your Twitter DMs, if you would, please.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, nothing.
Oh, nice. Nice. Oh, you know the first one you sent me?
Uh-huh.
You can put a pickle instead of the microphone.
Duh. No.
Praise the gherkin.
Praise the Gherkin.
Sup, bitches. Yes, we did that in unison.
Good God, you people.
It entertains
Who
me
you
so
calling
much.
you people?
No, all y'all.
Who you calling you people?
All y'all.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Okay, so somebody was singing as they passed the house. Now there's gunfire. Either somebody didn't like the song that was being sung, or somebody decided to celebrate that they sang that song.
No. It was all I want for Christmas. That would make anybody shoot people.
Is gunfire?
Pop, 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 pop.
As soon as I hear that Mariah Carey song, like I'm just like, where's? I need to go shoot somebody, if not myself.
By the way, good morning, Bunny, in the chat.
Hi, Bun Buns.
Good morning, Bun Bun.
I'm all and I don't know. I guess since it was free and you know I got it on a pirate streaming service, I'll probably go watch it again just to make sure. But I'm like, there were like 3 specific points where you can literally feel them trying to bail that fucking water, trying to just shit on Ryan Johnson for some of the bullshit that he pulled.
Well,
See, for me,
yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say for me, it's a thing. Like I have to watch it in the theater. Like my first viewing of it has to be in the theater because I want that surround sound. I want that big screen. I want to have that kind of atmosphere. First and foremost, because I'm going in there to watch a Star Wars movie. Period. Like that's my initial thing. That's what it is. Like anytime I've ever watched like the original trilogy, and yeah, we've done that before. Me and my baby sister had a Star Wars party with the original trilogy and the prequels, and she's like, "What order should we watch them in?" I'm like, "Trilogy, original first. You do 5, not 5, 4, 5, 6, and then you go 1, 2, 3." And she's like, "Oh, okay. I was just gonna do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6." I'm like, "No, that's wrong."
No,
Don't do it
because
that way.
because you would lose your will to watch the fucking movies if you watched the prequel trilogy first.
But we watched that shit. Like we watched it. We had some boozahol, and it was a good night. And we watched it on a big fucking TV. The house that we were at had surround sound, so it was a similar kind of thing. Not quite movie theater status, but everybody was comfy, everybody was cool, and it was all good.
Well,
And so
before
like my first viewing of every Star Wars movie has to be in the theater. Period. Like it's a thing, and people can go ahead and shit on me all they want. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking pay the money to go and watch it in the theater.
Well, before they released the prequel, they had a movie marathon thing where they played, Star Wars, Empire, and Return. Just one right after the other. Well, they gave you like a 10-minute bathroom break. But we went and watched that because it hyped us up. Even though they were the fucking Lucas, I need to leave my shit alone, but I didn't versions. Dude, I remember standing in line as a wee tyke for Star Wars back in 77. And it was probably one of the most amazing movie experiences that I had. because heretofore there was nothing like it ever. And I don't think people realize with all the CGI and all the mastery over film now, digitally and otherwise, I don't think people realize how much of a landmark Star Wars was when it first came out. I mean, it was amazing. There would be people who would watch it and then go ahead and get back in the line that was about 2 hours long just to go see it again. Because, you know, back in the day, there wasn't reserved tickets. They sold the tickets until they sold out. And I remember me, my brother, and two of his friends went, and we couldn't sit together. Me and my brother got seats to sit together, but his friends had to go someplace else. In the theater, that is. And that's how much of a touchstone that it was, because they always say, you know, Jaws was the first big box office bang, you know, the first blockbuster. I have to disagree, because I don't remember people lining up around the block in my small podunk town to see Jaws over and over again, but they sure as shit did for Star Wars. And I still have. By the way, I still have my Star Wars program. Because yes, kids, back in the day, if you were seeing a movie, sometimes they had programs for those movies. And it cost me $1, and I still have it. And they got some of the information wrong in it too, by the way. I'm not saying this because they retconned. It's because they just fucked up. And they put a little bit of money into the, hey, let's sell some programs, see if we can make a little money off of it. Because once again, like Samaj was saying, they didn't expect it to be such a landmark. They didn't expect it to be the hit that it was. They were ready to write that fucker off.
Yep.
And it didn't, and it wasn't.
Yeah, because they lost a lot of money making it.
Well, I could swear that when we went and saw it, it actually did have Luke talking to his buddies about joining the rebels, and it had an extended scene of Biggs, when he met up with Biggs again before they went and tackled the Death Star. I could swear that was in the cut that we saw. By the way, good morning to Sinfire15 in the chat.
That would actually make a whole lot more sense then.
Well, I mean, it felt like a natural progression, and really, seriously, a movie like that in a time like that, it could have been 2.5 hours, and you would have never known. Because there was so much action to it. Like I was saying, there really wasn't anything out there that was that action-packed. And good God, man, I could always listen to a John Williams score. Even this movie, it still had a good John Williams score to it. I mean, Star Wars 9. But then again, what is it? Friday the 13th still has more movies in their franchise. So
I was trying to find something to like about this movie. I really did. I really wanted to find something to justify the money I spent on it.
Did they at least have the characters that were cool from the first one?
No, because
it didn't have Poe.
Oh no, Poe was in it.
See, the thing is, from the first one, the first of the Disney Star Wars movies, Poe was the most interesting character, because you have someone who is a stormtrooper who just sort of came out of his trance, if you will, and realized
Poe was the X-wing pilot.
Oh, sorry. No, I forgot about. Sorry, I was thinking Finn. I'm tired. It's like 1 a.m. I think, yeah, Poe I actually didn't mind. I thought he was interesting. You know, a rebel guy. You know, has to help him out, that kind of stuff. I thought he was kind of cool. Finn, I think, was the most interesting because he was the main character. I thought he should have been the main character.
Right.
But then they turn him into the comic relief. But I'm like,
subvert
why?
expectations.
Well, and I don't mean to give anything away, but they turned Poe into like a whiny bitch who was just like spouting platitudes. Oh, but we're together. Oh, fucking shut up, dude. They legitimately made it. Like I said, any progress made in this movie, any headway made in this movie was done by the women and not by the men. They could have scattered it around. They could have spaced it out. 50% guy, 50% gal, and I would have been cool with it. But it was just like the whole Kathleen Kennedy thing of let's shit on men in movies just seemed to continue in this one.
Well, yeah, I mean, the male audience feels insulted, and the female audience just feels like they're being pandered to.
Yeah.
No one felt good at the end of it, and she may have thought she was doing it for feminism, but at the end of the day, she was just doing it for herself. And that's part of the reason, like, where I feel like this movie also ended, because if they use your script or your outline, if you will, then of course you get paid for it.
Yeah.
But if they don't use it, then they might not pay you for it. The rumor was, from one of the insiders, is that one of the endings for this was written by George Lucas himself to try and fix it up. And they filmed it because there was about 8 different endings, or 7, give or take. And that one was probably the best. But Kathleen Kennedy, because she gets the final word, sounded like they used her ending. And it's kind of a last little fuck you to Star Wars. Because she thought she was going to do something great, and nobody liked it. So she probably felt hurt, bothered, and decided to take it out on the fans and on Star Wars in general. I almost feel like I just want to blame Kathleen Kennedy for the disaster. Like, I want to say maybe it's J.J. Abrams, but he's probably doing his job, so he was hired to direct, and so he just directed. I think he's just given up. And I think the actors have given up. I think everyone just wanted this travesty to end. No one was happy in this movie. No one.
Well,
But we know John Boyega wasn't happy about it because he stated it way before the film released.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna say this: like, if I were an actor working on any of the past trilogy, I probably would have just said fuck it, period, because the amount of shit that the actors got was absolutely ridiculous. Like, it's just like, don't be giving the actor shit for the script that they're given, and they only have all they're there for is to portray the characters that they're told to portray. So calm your shits on that. Like, can you just get out of your own fucking asses and calm your shits on that, and not be giving the actors a bunch of shit for the characters they're being told. They're doing their fucking job. It's like going into a restaurant and yelling at the cashier for being a cashier.
I mean,
you know?
I mean, Mark Hamill's spoken up a few times that he was pissed off about some of the way shit was done too.
Well, you want to hear something funny about that? I went to the Jay and Silent Bob reboot roadshow, and they wanted to get Mark Hamill to come back and reprise Cockknocker. And he said he got back in touch with Kevin Smith, and the one line that he said was, "The Force won't let me." So they had him paid and on standby for reshoots. So he had to be ready at a moment's notice in case they called him back in to do something. So he couldn't do Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
I like that response. He would totally have said that. Oh, that was amazing. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks, but still.
Wait a minute. No, Kimonito. There was no mass shooting at a Star Wars movie. That he's saying 18 dead, 48 injured. No. I looked it up. You were spreading misinformation. Unless you got a link, then shut it down.
It could be that he's trolling. Although, granted, I mean, who knows? Who knows with a movie like this?
Wow,
I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm just joking.
No. If there was a mass shooter, they'd be beaten to death by plastic lightsabers.
Although, is anybody else like ready to see Star Wars: Rise of the Skycocker?
It might be the only thing worth watching.
I don't know. I will say I watched the porn version of Justice League where they did clean cuts on it. So they cut out all the porno and they just did the story. And the story was fucking better than what Warner Brothers came up with.
Dude, Warner Brothers fucked themselves so hard, and it's because they don't know how to just let shit be. And it's the same thing with the the issues when it comes to Star Wars is people like Kathleen Kennedy just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and sticking their thumb in where they're just if you have a good director, period.
Well, but here's the bad thing about it. Kathleen Kennedy was handpicked by George Lucas to take over because when he sold it, he was like, okay, I have an outline for the next 3 films. I have an outline for the trilogy, and Kathleen's going to make sure that this gets done. No, she completely went off the fucking reservation and went ham on her own ideas. She's like, this is what's going to happen now. And George was just sitting there going,
I wrote a trilogy and, I gave it to you.
And she was just like, fuck you, George. This is all mine now. I'm wrapping my vagina around this.
But we had no source material.
Mm-hmm.
One of the big things too is with the Last Jedi movie, like I think it was J.J. Abrams had like an entire outline of a script. Like he had something like completely ready, and that got just completely chucked out. And like and they as far as I'm concerned, they pulled a Warner Brothers, where it's just like, no, they let too many people try and come in, and be like, this is how it's gonna be, instead of following what, other people who know enough and know better.
Here's the thing. He legitimately, because J.J. Abrams likes George Lucas, loves Steven Spielberg, loves Francis Ford Coppola, all those directors who came up together in the 70s. And he was handed Lucas's outline. And so he started making those, what J.J. Abrams likes to call riddle boxes, to set them up to be unwrapped later on in the succeeding movies. And Ryan Johnson found all those little riddle boxes, opened them up, and just took big old diarrhea shits into them, and then closed the boxes back up and stuck them in the closet.
Let's call it subverting expectations.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Because the first movie in the trilogy did kind of well. I
thought so.
It made its money back. It was kind of selling the toys. Everything was kind of moving along, looking good. And so the studio thought, well, Kathleen Kennedy did it right in the first movie. Let her go ahead and let's see what she comes up with on the second movie. And then Kathleen Kennedy just like blinked twice and went, oh, wait a minute, I can do whatever the fuck I want? Okay, well, here's my agenda. Ryan Johnson, you fucking cuck, do this. And of course he said, yes, ma'am. Fuck you, Ryan Johnson, by the way. You killed a franchise. You killed $1 billion franchise. You fucking killed it dead. And then you have the balls to come out with this little indie type movie, Knives Out. And people are like, oh, he's back again. He never was here in the first place, guys. He never had $100 million movie. Just go ahead.
If I had to give praise to Ryan Johnson about anything in regards to Star Wars, it would probably be that it's probably a good thing that these movies are as bad as they are. Because the first movie did fairly well.
Mm-hmm.
But Kathleen Kennedy's, because she's an ideologue, and that's what makes this so bad. And should the movies been done competently and you know mediocre or whatever, but still make enough money, we would just get mediocre Star Wars. At this point, you have to make something good, and I mean really good, to get the fans back.
Yeah,
and I think it's gonna force people to be on their A game and probably really think long and hard about how you're going to make a Star Wars movie. Because Star Wars comes with all this, some would say baggage, I would say heritage. Star Wars has a lot of heritage behind it. And you need to be as respectful of that as humanly possible. It's the equivalence of handing people the ownership of, let's say, Mount Rushmore, and someone deciding to put in, I don't know, the strong women of history instead of the founding fathers. That's not a very respectable thing to do. And with Star Wars, it's the equivalent of that. Hello, Bonnie.
Good morning, Bonnie.
Hi. So what I would do is just give them a very big pile of credit for not having any of the Gungans.
I think I would have preferred Gungans.
I would have been cool with the big reveal as Snoke actually being Jar Jar. Yeah, I love that fucking theory.
It is a wonderful theory.
Yeah.
It is. It's a wonderful theory, but it's also such like it's obviously like a joke.
Oh no! The way that people, Redditors actually came up with this whole big theory, and it made a lot of sense. It made a ton of sense, and it was very well thought out. I mean, somebody probably started it off as a joke, but when you weaponize autism, man, they can figure out something decent with it.
I mean, there's plenty of people who will take a joke and run with it. Like it happens. It's a thing, but it's still like it's not going to stop it from being a joke. You know, like the only thing that I've ever like the only real conspiracy theory that I've ever like been like, yeah, I believe it is that Hillary is a lizard person.
I can't agree with that.
You might not be wrong.
I can't agree with that because Hillary is a warm, wonderful human.
And Epstein didn't kill himself.
Yes.
Hi, gaming.
Oh, hi.
Good morning, gaming.
It's about time you say hello to me, jerks.
You gotta step in there, man. Step in there.
You shut the fuck up.
No.
Fucking furry.
Actually, yes. I'm gonna go to bed.
Good.
So, you win this one. You win this time. You son
of course, you gotta be up and early, looking pretty for me tomorrow morning.
Wait, Samaj, you can't go to bed. I was about to go to bed.
Okay, the three of us can cuddle. That'll be fine.
No.
No. Samaj, just make it a sandwich.
I don't want to go to bed
I
smelling
like
tacos.
sandwiches.
No tacos. No tacos.
You wouldn't like this sandwich, Pickle.
I'm staying out of this, and Pickle, I highly advise you to stay out of this because you are right in the middle of the sandwich.
And with that, good night.
Thanks for stopping by, Samaj. By the way, you're not bailing expressly right now, are you?
No, I'll try and give it like 20 minutes, but I'm feeling myself
Slipping?
Yes.
By the way, thanks to everybody who pointed out that I was a fucking wreck at the end of the last show because I took the Ambien and I thought we were ending earlier, but the conversation got dragged out and then the Ambien kicked in and I sounded like a big old tard at the end of it. So thanks everybody for pointing that one out.
You're welcome.
Yeah. It was funny because Addie kept going, Doc. I'd be like, okay. And it legitimately sounded like I was having a conversation completely not with anyone that was actually on the panel. It's like I was talking to somebody, having a conversation, and it wasn't like a drunken conversation. I mean, I was actually very lucid sounding. But I guess that's probably what, insane people sound like, the kind that push the shopping cart walking down the street and they're having a conversation with like nobody. That's what it sounded like when I listened back to it.
Yeah, that sounds like every video I've ever made.
Oh, and then I'd stop for like 30 seconds or so, and it's like somebody would verbally nudge me. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I got to finish this shill. And I was fucking up the shills left and right. I did do the, leave the money on the dresser. I got that one. But that was pretty much it that I got right. Trying to get through my fucking shill. So
speaking of shilling, I'm just gonna say this. That I like sandwiches. And if you too like sandwiches and would like to express that, then feel free to stop by Full Metal Pickles Tea Public Store. That's right, Full Metal Pickles Tea Public Store, where you can get his I Like Sandwiches designs. So stop by Full Metal Pickles Tea Public Store and buy something as you praise the gherkin.
Praise.
See, I like how you tweak that. That's good. Yeah, you should be in marketing.
Kadant, you have to teach me how to shill like that.
You need a smaller.
Do you have a customer service voice?
Oh God, yeah. I worked at one place for 10 years. 5 days a week, usually 40 hours a week, and I would say the same exact thing every like 40 or 50 times a day. Yeah, and it just gets ingrained in your brain. And I know Kadant's. Well, wait a minute. Let's take a look and make sure, because I don't want to speak out of turn. This is
the best customer service I have is. Thank you for calling Papa John's Lawrenceburg. My name is Bonnie. May I interest you in a 2-liter?
No, I don't fucking call you for a 2-liter, you fucking douchebag.
See, what you do is you can just go ahead and be like, thank you for stopping by our stream. My name is Bonnie. Make sure to come back by and check out our next stream. Like something along those lines. I basically just pep up your customer service voice in a way that sounds like it's actually happy. And I was very pleased to serve you today.
Well,
yeah, I was never really good at that. The thing I was actually good at was, I'm sorry you had an issue with your delivery. I can comp you a medium flatbread.
See, I'm a woman,
Yeah,
so I'm used to
that's the way I
faking
was
it,
trained.
and I'm especially used to faking being happy. So
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
and honestly, the place where I worked for 10 years, Karens existed a long time before anybody had a name for them.
I worked in the restaurant industry. Like,
Oh God,
since I
you
was
poor
16.
thing. Yes.
Yep, I've
So
been a
I learned-
telemarketer
retail and fast food. I know customer service voices.
I learned really fast
retail
how
and
to
fast
speak with
fast
a
food.
smile, as if you could actually hear the smile, because I'm so pleased to be hearing from you, and I'm sorry you are having such an issue. Here, let me see what I can do to rectify that
Oh my
situation.
god, you are the computer voice.
How are you? How can I help you today?
Oh
Para
yeah.
español, oprima número dos.
I used to love to do the oh, well, I can certainly see where you would be upset with that. I tell you what, I'm glad you called today. Let me help you fix that. By the way, good morning to Fire in the chat.
Hi, Fire.
Hi, Fire.
And
Hello?
and I'm wondering why we have not had the bunny stop by yet.
Well, she's been busy. I know that for sure.
Wow.
Thank you for stopping by the IRS.
Oh my God,
Join the
Kadan,
Discord.
shut up already.
Oh my god, can keep doing that. I love it.
It's
I feel like I'm on hold.
the exits are located to the left and the right of every third aisle.
How do you all have these voices for this? I don't understand this.
Years
You're
of
learning.
dealing with human beings
Yeah.
helps you to learn how to fake being okay with dealing with human beings, especially when it comes
here,
to
Kadan. Your sister.
vocalizations.
Welcome to Allstate. My name is Gaiman and Yelling. How may I help you? You having a bad day? You had an accident? I am so sorry to hear that. Please let me take the time to explain what we're going to do for your claim today. I'm simply going to take your name, phone number, and we'll then take it to the next steps of the claim. We're definitely going to try my best to assist you in the quickest way possible to get your vehicle back on the road. Or if your vehicle is okay, you just need to file the claim and put it in a record. We will definitely we'll be more than happy to do that for you. Now, please, let's continue with the claim, okay?
And that's somebody who's memorized the
By the way, welcome
Wow.
in the chat to Michael Hatfield. There's only been 2 times in telemarketing that I've been thrown off. And that was with the nail boots and the cougar chewed pants.
Wait, I have to hear about the nail boots.
Well, a girl called up and she said, "Yeah, hi. I got a little bit of a problem." And I'm like, "Okay, well, what's going on?" She's like, "Well, I got the new boots and I put them on and they felt a little uncomfortable, but you know, they're new boots. So I thought, you know, I kind of, basically worked my way into them and that, they wouldn't, and they wouldn't be uncomfortable." And I'm like, "Okay." And she's like, "But I went to take them off and I can't take them off." And I'm like, "Well, what's going on?" She's like, "Well, apparently there was a tack nail on the sole that is stuck in my foot and I can't get the boots off. And I'm in the emergency room right now and they want to cut the boots off of me. But I don't want the boots. But I don't want to destroy the boots." And I basically lost it at that point. And I was like, "Okay, listen to me. Let them cut the boots off." She's like, no, these boots, they're great. And I was like, "I will send you another pair of boots." Because I could hear in the background the triage people going, "Come on, we got to cut these boots off." And it must have been incredibly fucking elaborate, but I do not think so. So I'm like, "Listen, I will replace those boots for you right now." She's like, "They're $150 boots." And I was like, "Your feet are worth more than that. Let them cut you out of the boots." And I didn't know this, but I was supposed to turn this over immediately to a supervisor. I was sitting there waving for a supervisor on the floor. None of them would come over to me. So I'm like, "Fuck it. I'm going to do this." So I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Sweetie, let them cut those boots off of you. I will right now process an order for you to get those boots." Again, they are available. They're in your size. I see them. I will order them for you. I will have them next day air shipped out. Let them cut the boots off of you. And she was like, well, you know, and you could hear her boyfriend in the back going, baby, you need to let them boots be cut off. You got to take care of your feet. Your feet are what you need. You don't need them goddamn boots. And I'm like, yes, go ahead, tell him that you do need the damn boots, and I am going to be sending those out to you. I'm going to take care of them. You don't have to pay for them again, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to send them. And I got pulled into the manager's office. It's like, why did you do this on this call? And I'm like, okay, I tell you what, let's have this conversation a month down the line if a lawsuit comes out of it. Then you can fire me and do whatever you want. But I couldn't get a supervisor on the floor to interact with me and take this call, so I took it. I followed it all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because like when I was training people at this job, I said, okay, guys, listen, you really don't have to care about the customers, but you do have to pretend like you care while you're on the phone with them. That is the key to not burning out on this job. Pretend, smile, and dial. You'll be okay. You'll be able to last through this. There's going to be some stupid people, and you're going to be able to laugh at them. Not while you have them on the phone, but you are going to be able to laugh at them, and that's how you blow off your steam. That's how you don't overly stress on everything. Never take anything personal, and you can work this job for a good long time.
And that's why Gherkin and Kid Dunt are muted. They're over there laughing their asses off.
No. Well, for me, I worked in a diner, and dealing with some people who would order their eggs like over medium, and then call me over and bitch at me because hiya, sweetie. I ordered these over medium and the yolks are runny. I need you to remake these for me. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. Did you want those over hard? I can go ahead and go get that handled for you right away. No. I want them over medium. But the yolks aren't supposed to be runny. I'm like, okay, I'll go and get that handled for you. Put it in as over hard, and then she's like, yeah, there's something wrong with the eggs. See, I can see the whites and the yellow. Is there any way you can just like mix them together would you like them scrambled? No, I want them over medium. Are you fucking shitting me right now?
You can't do that. Stop it.
Whore. Like, really? Listen, I get it, Karen. I get it that your haircut probably lobbed off some of your brain cells as you were attempting to bleach your roots to make yourself feel like you were young and worthwhile to your rich husband who no longer loved you because he's busy banging his secretary. I understand that.
Oh my.
But learn what the fuck the difference is between over medium eggs, scrambled eggs, over medium, the yolk is supposed to be running. The whites are completely cooked, but the yolk is running.
Absolutely.
Fucking learn this shit. I understand you've never cooked a day in your life. But don't try and tell me that I put the eggs in wrong. And then the third time I bring you out a set of eggs, which, by the way, I told the cook specifically, just swirl it kind of together. And I had to tell him this specifically. And he did it, and it got brought out. She's like, oh my God, that's so much better. And then you're going to go ahead and go when you're going to pay. Yeah, the eggs were wrong twice. I tried to get them over medium, and for some reason, and I'm just like, you're shitting me. You're going to bitch at my manager right now saying that I got your eggs wrong. And I fucking showed the manager the ticket. And I'm like, no, she thinks the yolks are supposed to be runny. And they're like, I'm just going to comp her meal. That's what she's asking for. I'm like, of course you're going to comp her meal. And of course that's what she's going to ask for. And then, oh, and here, keep the change, sweetie. You did a great job. Oh my God, thank you. A whole 32-cent tip. You're so generous, you dumb cunt.
Yeah.
Tell us how you really feel.
I was not pleased.
Okay.
To quote the movie Waiting, do not fuck with the people that
Do
make
not
your
fuck
food.
with the people that prepare your food. Yes.
See, that's why, like, to the few places that I go to, I have a certain waiter or waitress, and they know how to treat me well, and I tip correctly, and simple. My food is never not done correctly.
We had this one fucking idiot that used to call in, and he would order like a fucking large with everything, and he had this nasty habit. He would be like, "Hey, dude, you can find my trailer easy. It's the only one with a satellite dish," and he would never tip his driver. And he got me a few times. He made the mistake one night of calling when I was manning the phones, and I was making the food, and I was delivering. I'm like, all right, I got you. I got you now. All right, it's cool, dude. And he's like, I want a large with everything. I'm like, all right, sir. Can I get your phone number and your address, please? And he provided me with all of his information. I'm like, yeah, I got you now.
Oh my God, Bonnie! It doesn't have to be a life story.
Yeah, I just wrecked the shit out of his pizza. Every fucking ingredient in the building went on his pizza. I even went next door to Subway and got a fucking can of whipped cream and a bottle of fucking Hershey's syrup. I'm like, all right, yeah. You never tip us? You're never calling back again? I made his pizza and I delivered it.
I hate you, Bonnie.
And then,
And you are
come on,
promptly
man.
fired.
and then 3 days later, he called back and said, "I want it the same way."
No, actually, he never called back, and I never got fired. I effectively got rid of this asshole that would never tip his driver.
See, the people that wouldn't tip me, gaming,
Mm-hmm.
talk to your people.
What? I'm like looking in the chat, going like, "What the fuck is this bitch talking about?"
No. I'm saying it is the. I'm fucking Mexicans, okay? Like, by the way,
Foreigners pretend to not know how to tip.
Actually,
the views and opinions expressed by the people here on the stream are not necessarily the views and opinions held by those that work at YouTube. Viewer discretion advised. Fucking Mexicans. Like, I had a party of 12 before. It was a party of 12, and their bill came out to like $200 altogether. I got $2 tip.
wow.
Oh, I'd have been pissed.
They tipped you a
I
sombrero.
was livid. I was absolutely, and I'm just like, never fucking give me them. Like, first off, I have to clean up the 42 kids that they brought in because it was mostly that was the best. It was mostly kids, but still, it was just one of the most.
Yeah, it's one of the most infuriating fucking experiences of your life, isn't it?
Not nearly as infuriating as this fucking chola cunt who had bright dyed red hair, and she ate everything except for like a little bite, and then she calls me over with her fake press on little fucking nails or whatever, and she's like, excuse me, there's a hair in my food. And I'm not very happy with that. Like, that's disgusting. And I'm just like, well, do you think maybe it might be one of your hairs, considering that you have red hair? The hair that is on, and it was a singular long, bright red strand on the remnant
the tiniest little bite of food that was left.
Why didn't she
Is
just
it.
pull,
Man.
why didn't she just pull a hair off one of her kids?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking customers suck, man. They really
Humans.
do.
It's not even just customers, it is humans. It's one of the main reasons why if I know I'm going in a restaurant and I'm gonna be one of those kinds of people where I'm like, can I get more of like this? Can I like I have to have like I am very particular. If I want my eggs over medium, the yolk better be runny, the whites better be cooked. If I want my
Damn
steak
right.
rare, I better practically hear it like mooing in pain as I cut pieces off of it, kind of thing. Like I try not to be one of those people, but I know that I can be every once in a while. And when I am, I've had $5 meals that I've tipped $20 on because I was just like, no, I was a difficult, annoying cunt, and I'm so sorry, and thank you for putting up with me, because I fucking know what it's like.
I don't know. I think I'm usually a flatline 20% tipper if things are good. If they go like the extra mile, then oh hell yeah, I can go up to about 30%. But you know, reasonably, most people barely even qualify for that 15% because for some reason I have a tendency of getting people like at the end of their shift or whatever, and they're just really not into doing anything. But I went down to Knoxville, and good God, every restaurant that my brother took me to, everybody was always polite and friendly, and I don't know if it's a Southern thing. It just might be. But good God, when you get up here in Ohio, they shit on you. Well,
That's because you were in the Midwest.
No, Tennessee's not the Midwest. It's considered the South now.
Listen, if that I've lived in California the majority of my life.
Uh-huh.
And I've only ever had 2 servers that I would say were bad at their jobs. One of which was some, and again, I apologize, gaming. I don't
Stop
know
freaking
what it is.
apologizing. What do I give a fuck?
Oh, but it was some fucking Hispanic chick.
Yeah, it wasn't me. What would I
who
care?
had a horrendous attitude, and honestly, I didn't order anything from her. Like, I had gotten a thing of coffee to start off with as a drink. And I couldn't even finish
you got your
drinking it because
decanter.
her standing at the table, I could smell the copious amounts of perfume that she must have bathed in.
Fucking hate that on waiters and waitresses.
Yeah.
Like,
Rule number 1, they're not supposed to be fucking wearing any of that shit.
it was just too much. But she was one of the only bad ones, and then I'd had one other one, and I don't even really remember.
Oh,
But,
there's been quite a few times that I have not tipped someone because they're that fucking garbage. Like a bitch. I fucking had a drink and was never refilled. I'm like, yeah, that's 0 tip for that fucking bitch.
Yeah, I was at a Denny's, and my brother accidentally spilled his coffee.
Mm-hmm.
The waitress were like, "Hey, can we get some napkins over here? The coffee spilled." And she was like, "Oh yeah." She comes by and just drops a stack of napkins on the table, doesn't even stop or anything. And then it takes him another 20 minutes before he gets his coffee filled. And it was an empty cup because it had just spilled all over himself.
I always try and take into account busyness of the restaurant too.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I understand what it's been. I used to work night shift at the diner, or the graveyard shift specifically, and I've had an entirely full restaurant all to myself that I had to handle by myself before. Except for like the cook, and even then, like there was one night where I had sent the cook on a break, and then all of a sudden I'm getting like people like party after party after party after party. I think it was a night that one of the like a big movie premiere or something like that. But anyway, that's beside the point. And so the restaurant filled, and so like I'm running around, and on top of that, I'm going in the back and cooking people's food, and like there's this one, and if it's not a Karen, it is a fucking old cunt. And I mean, like, you know, I'm not talking about like shaking and stuff like that. Like she's probably like anywhere from 50s to 60s. You know, she's just old enough to be a grandma with white hair and all that jazz. But it's always one of those kinds of fucking people who bitch and moan about, I haven't gotten what I ordered yet. I'm like, yeah, I know I needed she wanted a fucking milkshake. She wanted a fucking milkshake on top of the other 4 from the previous table that had come in before her. And we had one machine for me to make milkshakes with. So after every single milkshake I made, I had to clean it out to get it made, on top of cooking everybody's food that they're ordering, on top of refilling everybody's drinks, on top of making sure I get everybody's orders. And she had the fucking audacity to try and bitch and moan that I obviously wasn't doing my job. And I look around at the full restaurant, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, I will get to you as soon as I can. And she's like, I've just been waiting for like an hour for that milkshake. And I'm just like, it's been 10 minutes, you lying whore. Like, get your head out of your ass, grandma. Like, don't you fucking get that kind of fucking attitude with me. First and foremost, you can see I'm by myself. Second, you can see that I don't have a cook. Third, you can see that on top of having to cook people's food, take people's orders, clean up tables, and seat new people, and get their orders, and refill drinks, as well as make your fucking milkshake. Once I get the other guys who had ordered their milkshakes before you, I also have to go and cash people out, because there are other people who are eating, finishing their food, and then going and paying their checks. And you want to go ahead and bitch at me like I'm just standing in the back twiddling my thumbs? No, you see what the fuck I'm doing. Take that into account. Stop being a selfish, self-centered, self-involved bitch.
I like sandwiches.
I almost came out of the back when I was working at the BK Lounge.
You should go to Full Metal Pickles Tea Public Store.
Mm-hmm.
I almost came out of the back. A customer was getting on my fucking counterman about how her burger wasn't fresh when it had just come out of the broiler and it had just gone into the PHU. And I overheard a little bit of the conversation. She's like, no, I just saw him. She's referring to me. I just saw him pull it out of that tray. And I was like, oh my God, bitch, this just came out of the broiler. It just went into the PHU. This thing has not been there 2 minutes. Fuck you.
Okay, I just came back. Thank God I tuned everything out. What happened now? Actually, no.
Wait,
no.
I just came back too. I had to pee.
Had to bite my fucking tongue and let the bitch fucking rant. And I really, really felt bad for the guy and man in the fucking register. I was like, oh my God, you poor thing. But if I go out here and start yelling at this customer, I'm gonna get fucking fired.
My head hurts.
No, I'm still okay with that. Because you know what? If you've got a really shit job and you really don't like your job, line up the new job and then just blow off that steam at the old job. Fucking fire me. I dare you to fire me.
You know what they actually fired me for?
Masturbating on pizzas.
Being a
No.
fucking prick furry.
No. Nope. They fired me because I got snowed in and I couldn't get to work.
Really? That was
Yeah.
the best. Oh, my head hurts.
I called work and I was like, hey, look, I'm gonna try and show up, but y'all need to
Make
get
it done.
somebody lined up to cover my shift. I'm gonna try and show up, but I'll give you 30 minutes if I
done.
can't show up. And I couldn't get to work. And I was like,
Yes, gaming.
How about a panel question? A happy panel question. Because I'm about to
Do
kill
you
a
have
bitch.
one available?
Yes.
Oh.
What is a good conversation that will make you happy? Not try to murder a furry or any other boring motherfucker.
I thought you liked me, dude.
I love you,
hell?
but goddamn, right now, goddamn.
All right. So here's a panel question.
Wait, before you start,
Mhm.
Sir Adamantine asked, "So anime? So this could? I mean, Addy asked about anime, so you can understand what's going on here, right? Like,
Well, no, I have a really good panel question
About
and
anime?
You're gonna hate me.
mm,
So my panel question is: if you could create a furry persona, what animal or animals would you be, and what would be your furry name?
by the way, failure said, "No, go back to the suicide topics."
By the way,
Okay.
good morning to Draconath Firesoul. Also, good morning
Hi.
to Failure.
Hi, Draconath. Hi, Failure. Okay, well, no. Then different panel question.
Because wait. I want no.
I have this.
Silence.
I want to answer this. Mine would be Voltron, and it would be Voltron.
Voltron. That's not a furry, dude. That's a mech.
Yeah, I know, and they can kill every fucking furry in the convention.
So, if you could commit suicide, what would be your favorite way to do it? And also,
Watching the show. Thank you. Thank you. Watching
I was
Doc
gonna say,
Griffin right
and
now.
also, what would you prefer to have playing in the background?
Doc
because-
Griffin too. A different episode.
12-gauge shotgun to the back of the fucking throat while listening to.
Oh, thank God! Thank God! It's in the throat. Thank God.
Mm.
Love you, Bunny.
I must be over here.
Yeah, Bad Flower, the Jester.
This is the song that does it end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend.
Oh,
Some people started singing it, not knowing what it was, and they'll continue singing it forever just because this is the song that does it end.
you mean the song that never ends?
Shut the fuck up!
God damn it, Anubis.
Is what it is, man.
No, it's not. It's really not.
Okay.
Oh, god damn it.
I have a panel question.
A real one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now, food is food, but there are some foods that people consider old people food. So, in your mind, when you hear somebody say the phrase old people food, what's the first thing that comes to mind? And we will start with gaming.
Oh, god damn it.
Yep.
So I gotta think about old people's food.
Yeah, something that automatically, if somebody says, "Oh yeah, they're serving this tonight," or "Hey, you want some of this?" It's like, God damn, that's old people food.
Oatmeal.
Oatmeal.
I know.
I actually, because failure, I will answer this because of my particular age, and Hall & Oates was the most successful duo in the 70s. I kind of like them still. And I tell you what, Oates had the most awesome porn mustache in music history. Better than Lionel Richie's.
You know how I make my oatmeal?
With your dick?
Besides that.
Okay.
Before it gets way too hot, you know. I usually use like 1 or 2 cups, not cups, spoonfuls of peanut butter.
Peanut butter?
And I let it,
Really?
yeah, I let it melt. It melts so perfectly into the oatmeal. And it's fucking delicious. But of course, it's more
Peanut butter oatmeal?
Uh-huh.
That sounds really weird.
I know my mom used to like to put butterscotch chips in them.
Well, I mean, when you make peanut butter oatmeal cookies, I mean, it's basically the same concept, but more liquidy.
And now we've kind of gone into favorite food.
No. We're still there.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta have the pause.
Oh yeah, it has
And
to be.
I will be right back.
Yay! I'll miss you.
Yay!
So
going
who's next,
outside.
Doc?
God damn it, he keeps talking.
I was gonna say Bonnie, but he's away now. Pickle?
Yes.
Something when somebody mentions it to you that you consider it old people food.
I don't know right offhand.
Do we need to get back to you?
Yes.
Okay. I'd say Bonnie, but Bonnie's not here.
Prune juice.
Cadet?
I was actually gonna say prune juice.
Al?
See, I can read your mind, Kadam.
But I guess if
Blah,
we-
blah, 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 blah.
the Necco wafers.
Oh, yeah. My dad was a huge fan of Necco wafers, but he died, so he can't eat them anymore.
Yeah.
Well, Doc, what you could do is in El Dia de los Muertos, you could put some of that candy in his graveyard.
No, I'm not gonna go visit his grave. I trust that there's other people that are still alive that want to, so I'll let them. Is Bonnie back yet? No.
Yay!
Pickle, have you had enough time, or you need a little more?
Tapioca.
Oh, you took mine, you fucker. You fucker.
Oh, hard candy.
That's
Hard
2
candy.
steals 2 days in a row.
Do you guys know those strawberry candies?
You would have to be a little more specific.
Or Werther's original butterscotch?
Yeah. That's what Wiki was saying.
Yeah.
The Werther's hard candy. Now, I always think because my grandmother did it and my mom did it, those fucking Starlight mints.
I'll be back.
You know those Starlight mints? They always had those. And I always, along with Werther's, I'm like, that's fucking old people stuff. You know, I want the stuff that actually tastes good. Although recently, we were in the dollar store and I was like, those look good. So I picked up a bag of animal crackers that were iced. And wifey looks at me and she's like, "What are you, 70?" I'm like, "Fuck you, that sounded good." And you know what? They are good. And they have 0 trans fat, 0 cholesterol, and only 7 cookies have 100 calories. Not like I'm watching my figure or anything, but you know. So there's proof. It's good. But yeah, she ridiculed me for my choice of cookie. And her cookie is usually something with weird fake fudge, because we're in the dollar store, right? So there's no real thing as like chocolate when it comes to $1, unless you're in the actual candy aisle. Then there might be 1 or 2 things, but still kind of questionable because the chocolate doesn't actually taste right. If that makes sense. And even if it doesn't, you know, it's 4:20, so it's 4:20 in the morning. Nothing has to make sense. It only has to make people go to sleep. Pickled eggs? I wouldn't consider pickled eggs old people food. I would consider that more bar food. Because there are many
pickled eggs are fucking awesome.
There are many bars that I've been into that have had a big ass jar of pickled eggs.
I need to hit up the bars you're hitting up.
Wait a minute. Wiki, are you talking about ribbon candy, like the one where they have the little candy dots on it that you peel off? That's the only thing I could think of for ribbon candy. Okay, Bonnie, something when somebody mentions this food to you that you think automatically it's old people food.
I can't think of anything. I suppose maybe a pot roast.
Pot roast is old people food?
Oh yeah, my grandma used to make a fucking badass fucking pot roast.
And would you say that if your grandmother made meth, that would be old people drugs?
No, man. That would be either anything from pot to crack cocaine.
What I'm saying is just because your grandmother made it, it doesn't necessarily make it old people food.
I don't know what's going on here.
Okay, then.
I love food.
By the way, good morning, Troubled Turtle in the chat. Kadant, I'm thinking if we could make it to 5, that's a good stopping time. What do you think? Can you make it?
Yeah, you can try.
It's only about. It's only a half hour.
I'm gonna be right here.
Okay.
I'm gonna be like over here.
Okay.
So like.
Because I got a question for you afterwards.
Oh dear. Okay.
I do. I mean, I could just DM it to you.
Yeah, do that now if you want an answer immediately, or try and wait and see if I stay awake.
Now, with the conversations,
I'm guaranteeing nothing at this point.
Because
my brain is up.
Kadant is sounding
with the conversations that we've had. I'm completely comfortable with saying, "Hey, how's your day going?" And then like 4 hours later, good.
No, it's usually I'm alive.
Or wait, it was a day.
Yeah, it's a day.
Mm.
Like I don't have good days. Like let's be honest. And when they're bad days, like if they're good days, then that's great. If they're bad days, then it's just another day because I'm used to the bad days. I'm used to shitty things or disappointing things happening like regularly.
I thought every day you see me, you would like get all happy and make your day and shit. So you've been fucking lying to me all this time? Is that what? Is
Not
this
all
what's...
the time, but like that's just.
Oh,
one
so not
small-
all the time I
that's-
make you happy. I see.
No, that's just one small portion of my day. Like, unfortunately, gaming, unless like I can't be with you the entirety of the day
Why not?
because you have shit to do.
Not really.
Like,
Fight me, bitch. You're not gonna win.
I'm not. It's okay. I tend not to. It's alright. I know my place.
Mm.
I know my place. It's okay. It's not okay.
Yeah.
It sucks, and I hate it. But
I was gonna say, knowing your place must be nice.
I have no idea what that means.
Oh, if you hung out with us on the regular, yeah, you know what knowing your place is all about.
You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around.
But by the way,
Mhm.
Kadant, did you notice that in that final that you have a cigarette too?
What?
In that final shot?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I didn't mention that. So there you go. And you have dragons.
Yes, I saw. They're beautiful. I have dragons on my titties, guys.
What? Dragon tits?
No, dragons
Yo.
on the titties.
So I've been working on a design for the next tattoo that I want to get, and it's gonna be a dragon, and it's gonna sit between my titties, though. Maybe it's just a little. It's gonna be there.
No, that's gonna work if you need to wear turtlenecks to a job interview.
I don't do turtlenecks.
Really?
I can't have things by my neck.
Why not?
That's not what I heard.
Because I was physically abused and choked a lot, so that kind of puts me in a bad place. Like it makes me freak out. So things too near my neck freak me the fuck out.
So you would have had a really bad time in the Renaissance era then.
No,
Yeah.
not entirely. Because they have like the chemise that don't go right to the neck. Like I as a peasant, I would have been fine. Nobility, on the other hand, yeah, I wouldn't have been able to be a noble.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Did gaming flip to Tom Pinoid in the chat? What the hell's going on here?
It's true. It's true.
Oh.
No, I call bullshit on that.
On which? Tom Pinoid being in the chat?
No, not that.
Why was he calling to repeal the 19th?
No.
I can agree. Well, you know, I already
Feeling some sort of kind of way about a thing?
Well, since I already confirmed that he's actually a true furry, if you guys, I don't even know what episode, what fucking hour, but basically there were 5 of his peers in front of him, and we judged to see if Pinoid had the criteria to be a furry, and he literally matched every single one of them. Overly.
Tom is a furry.
Closeted furry.
He's actually a closeted otherkin.
You brought
shut up.
You brought this on yourself, gaming. Good morning, Fire. Welcome to the stream.
Hi, Fire.
And we judged to see if Pinoid had the. That's nice. At least I can hear myself again.
I mean, I like Tom and all, but
You're the only one.
Addie's saying
What-
in the chat, gorillas have an average IQ of 60 to 70.
Well, higher than mine, bitch. So yeah, pretty much.
Nah, I mean,
Word. But yeah, we pretty much confirmed that he is a furry.
Tom has more of a higher beatdown IQ than me. I like Tom. I really do.
And that's why
You are
he's gonna
still the only
become.
one.
He's we just decided that Tom's gonna become the messiah of the furries, since he's gonna unite all of them into one party. Because there's the furries, the bronies, the scalies.
No.
I'm
gonna stop you right now.
Shut up.
Hold on.
And then there's,
I'm gonna stop you right now.
No, bitch,
no.
you don't go over me.
Bronies, no.
You do understand that I have the power to fucking toss you too without God's permission. Unfortunately,
I do understand
but I can
that,
toss
and
you.
I am.
Shut your mouth. Shut your fucking gorilla monkey.
I am willing to
sucking mouth.
listen.
Shut it out.
Wait, guys. Shh, take a breath. Just take a quick breath. And
Well,
just
since I don't have
remember-
gag reflexes, I can hold my breath for a very long time. Just saying.
Yeah,
That has
just-
nothing
just-
to do with your
just
gag reflex.
You
just a
shut your
quick-
whore mouth.
Just do a quick in
I'm-
and out.
Wait, there's no guy to put it in and out.
Bonnie, let Gaming finish his
Wait a
thought,
minute. Who
and
just?
then you can
who
go
just?
on about how you want to spank
Wait,
the monkey
wait.
later,
Who
okay?
just did the sound pad?
Bonnie did.
Bonnie.
Oh, cool, dude! Way to
Sound-
throw me under the bus.
Sound pads are not allowed on the IRS.
Wait, since when?
Since when Trippy went all fucking ham with one night.
Okay, using a sound pad in moderation and at appropriate times with the appropriate sounds, totally. Like I'm gonna fight for that one.
Nope.
Doing a Trippy is no. Like Trippy gets into a way every once in a while, it goes a little cray cray. So I can agree with that. But anyway, let's let Gaming finish. Let's allow Gaming to finish his thought process on Tom Pinoid's
Oh, so
fur.
we have another furry in our teams who doesn't really know it. Sir Adamanting's actually Avion, so he's a furry too. So we're gonna get their group involved too, and they're gonna follow the Messiah, which is Tom Pinoid, another furry god. And when he dies, he's gonna first erect, because he cannot resurrect. He's gonna first erect.
Oh, okay.
And he's gonna.
I don't.
I'm not. Was I done?
I have
Was
a,
I
I have
done?
a question.
Was I done? Was I done? No. Shut your mouth. And after he resurrects, he's gonna lead everybody, all the furries and involving parties into one and rule the world. Now you could open up your stupid ass mouth, fucking furry.
I don't have a fucking question.
Thank you.
And Kadut, if it's you or I and maybe Pickle who have our fingers on the trigger of a sound pad, I think that would be okay. Everybody else, fair bulletin.
I appreciate that because every once in a while, Pickle will play something that's like good on a sound pad. Honestly, Lo-Fi has a few sound pad clips that I think she needs to share with Pickle.
Yes, probably.
Which would be amazing. Anti too.
Everybody's
Pickle,
trying to get the one that I've got. The ghastly saying "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah.
Yeah. But you should hit up. Oh, go ahead.
I still like Zell's oh god, his Schwarzenegger from Total
Put the
Recall.
dick down.
What was it? Give these people some dick, Cohagen, or something?
He's just dead air.
I don't know. Zell
Give
says a
these
lot of
people
things
the air.
Something like that, yeah. But Pickle, you need to hit up Lo-Fi and hit up Anti, because they have a few beauties that are just like Lo-Fi I think still has the clip from a Gluck that says "Come up my ass again, Zell."
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, does it? I'm sorry, y'all.
I thought somebody would have got that Alucard one.
Oh.
That Sparky
Doc.
used to play.
Doc,
Bitches love
do you
cannons.
want them to play it in moderation, or do you want me to keep demanding the same fucking sound clip repeatedly?
Fuck
Get that
you.
bitch
That's
a
how.
cannon. Bitches love cannons.
I meme that to fucking Kadot was like, I don't know why I was thinking of it. I was watching Abridged again, and then when he said that, I started laughing my ass off. So I'm like, okay, meme. Here you go. I'll send it over to Kadot, and she was just like, yes. But yeah, I think the fuck you. That's how. Should be stored on somebody's sound pad.
My notification sound is either fuck you, that's how, or you done goofed.
I don't remember that one, but
Those are my notification sounds.
Still one of my favorites, which I've pulled on this show before, on Pinoid, is Trunks from Dragon Ball Super saying, "Hold your fire, this man isn't black."
Oh yeah.
And that was not a goof or a parody line. That was actually on the show.
Bonnie said good night. Good night, Bonnie.
Hi, Bonnie.
I'd have said you could have shelled, but you left, so I can't. Hattie in the chat. I wouldn't follow Pinoid into a Salvation Army. Wait a minute. When did the Salvation Army become racist and homophobic?
There've been a few reports here and there.
Oh, that's what they said about Denny's, and it chased it right out of our town. And Denny's just has a general hatred of everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll take my moons over my hammy someplace else.
Man, I could go for some Waffle House.
Oh, I could always go for Waffle House. It would take me a great long time to get burnt out on Waffle House.
Damien just wants it smothered and covered.
Uh-huh.
Oh, by the way, you know a storm's bad? You know, because I live in Florida. If there's a hurricane coming, Waffle Houses tend to remain open unless the storm is going to be especially bad. That's how people gauge, like, the hurricane threat, is whether or not the Waffle House is still open.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a joke.
That's like a life hack.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't. You know what? I only no context tweeted like one thing. Good God, I'm slipping, Kadant. But really, was there anything that we needed to? Here, wait. I'll just no context tweet a picture of Hall Notes. Just because. Oh, because, dude, Oates has that fucking. He's got that Ron Jeremy porn stash. He is working
Yeah,
that
but see,
shit.
there's a difference. It looks good on him, not on Ron Jeremy.
Yeah, no, Ron Jeremy, it's always kind of had a scary face.
Yeah, he was. I remember watching a late night commercial. I don't know what kind of male enhancement product that he was hawking, but he was also giving away tips for adult film stars or people who want to become adult film stars, and one of them was shave your genitals.
Yeah. Makes it look bigger.
But he's a fucking big old hairy hedgehog. And that's
Yeah,
and I just picture him, he's all hairy, one spot.
And greasy.
Ew. Ew.
Oh no, I saw the documentary. Apparently, not only does he have narcolepsy, but he smells too because he doesn't shower often.
He looks like he doesn't shower often.
Oh, yeah.
But they were making fun of him in the behind the scenes stuff from Toxic Avenger 4 because he played the mayor of Tromaville, and they were making fun of him because they did a B-roll of how many times they caught him sleeping. And I don't know if it's actual narcolepsy. It could just be that he's fucking lazy and falls asleep. But
Well, a side effect of sleep apnea, if you're undiagnosed, is narcoleptic symptoms.
oh, but he never fell asleep fucking.
Oh, that's gonna be mean.
No, it's only like when you're sitting or relaxing, you can just fall asleep like that.
Oh, okay. Because now, as a follow-up to that, I picked up the DVD of Orgasmo. And in the cast commentary, Trey Parker says, yeah, he's a narcoleptic. He kept fucking falling asleep on set. And we would let him fall asleep on set except for the fact that he snores too. So we had to keep waking him up so we didn't have any problems with hearing snores on the sound.
Yeah, most likely he had sleep apnea.
I don't know. Wait a minute. If it's Ron Jeremy, would it be sleep fapnea? Hey! And good morning, Watch.
Hello.
I am the person allowed to make dad jokes, even granddad jokes.
I mean,
Yeah, but they have to be good at least. If they're bad, no. You still get scolded if they're bad.
By definition of a dad or a granddad joke, you know they're not going to be good.
That's a lie. There's plenty of fucking hilarious dad jokes and granddad jokes.
Oh, tell me one.
I don't got one right now. You kidding me?
Because they don't exist.
Are you fucking saying like I'm funny or something?
Nah. Wait a minute. They have dogs bred to be narcoleptic? That's just cruel.
Why is that a thing?
Because they apparently, Wiki's saying because they want to study it.
Oh.
What, narcolepsy?
Yeah.
I mean, don't you have rats for that?
Yeah, really?
Yeah, rats.
My favorite is still the goats that pass out.
Oh,
or did the fear?
Goats.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are also kittens that'll do it too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wish my kittens would.
Right?
You just freeze mid climbing the blinds and just fall out of it.
Yep. That'd be hilarious.
That would be hilarious.
Well, we went with the we have no curtains on like any of our windows. We kind of learned our lesson because we had curtains on the downstairs window on the door coming in, and good God, those cats found a way to break those cheap blinds and hang on the curtains. So it's like, all right, fuck it. Humongous. Now I remember Hugh Morris, who used to go
Humongous.
as the wrestler name Major Huge Erection.
Humongous was that guy in that stupid fucking
Video.
town hall debate where some
Yeah,
lady
with the
come up
video.
to ask him something because he had just got done giving a bunch of money and being a head of a anti-suicide thing. Up comes this lady. He's like, "What is your name? What is your name?" And he's just like, "My name is Humongous,"
Mm-hmm.
and then walked off. And it was this whole big fucking ordeal because for some reason, let's get the goddamn curry out. This fucking Indian bitch thought it was the fucking greatest idea in the world to act like a retard.
Well, she made money off that too.
He's actually harassing me.
Well, they both did.
Well, she just chased him down too.
Well, no.
He's fucking chasing the poor man down like he's got something else
He
to do with his
harassed
fucking
me.
dad.
He's disgusting. He sexually harassed me. Disgusting. It was great. It was great.
Well, now he did.
He was making a
He thought he was going to have to go to court, but he did do a fundraiser, but he turned it all over to, because he was there about first responders because they saved his kid's life.
Yeah.
And so he turned all that money over to the first responders of whatever city he was living in.
Well, he had cancer too, so
Did he?
I think they made a fundraiser for his cancer too.
Yeah, H3H3 was behind that.
Yeah.
Okay, is it just me? I don't really like watching H3H3 because Ethan's got that weird eye.
It's a kid.
I have no fucking idea. I don't like him because I don't like him. But I figured I'd pop in and say, hey, doc.
He looks like he smells funny.
He does.
His wife is
hey,
very
doc.
pretty.
No, she's not.
Hope you're doing okay. Had a good week.
Are you doing good?
Nope.
Oh, god
You're
damn it.
doing okay. You have a good week.
I got a letter from the assisted care place that I want to move into, and they said, well, you know, what you can do is since we turned you down, if you'd like, you can write a letter to us, and you know, basically plead your case.
And
And
this week on Disabled Idol.
and I'm a writer, so I'm like, all right, I'm cool with that. Let's go.
Mhm.
It is go time now. So I'm gonna write such a nice sappy letter that oh holy hell yeah. I'm gonna either get them to roll a fucking tear and let me in, or at least go, God damn, that was like the best letter that we've ever received. You're still not getting in. So one way or the other, I'm going to actually be able to use these skills, which I thought were useless in the real world.
Nah.
No, I think his wife is like not attractive. Let's go there.
I think she's very pretty.
I think you're incredibly wrong. Here, I will go ahead and no context tweet a picture of both of them.
I wanted to come in and say, hey, make sure Knut was doing okay. She's not here, so I'm going to assume she is. Buzz me later. I'm going to get going.
Oh, okay, brother. Yeah. I'll give you the 411 on everything that's happening, but
Eddie,
it's progressing. His wife doesn't look like Mr. Ed. Looks like you know, she got kicked out of the Mossad, and that's what frightens me about her. Pooh, what are you doing? Oh,
YouTube's probably gonna get mad at that comment.
Pooh is calling H3H3 pedophiles. There is no substantiation for that.
What? No.
No.
Didn't they just have a son too?
Oh God, I got a joke about danger, and no, I'm not going there.
that joke.
Yeah, I didn't even go for the joke, but I don't find her attractive. Yeah, she looks like the what I call proto Karens, because they don't have like the bleached hair. They're not like soccer moms, but they come from like a wealthy family, and they believe that everybody in the world needs to bend a knee to them. You know, the kind of women that you see bitching at a makeup counter because there's too many smells around. I remember when Cadunt was alive and kicking. I miss her. And,
Rest in peace.
You made me flashback.
It was a glorious time.
It was the worst of times. It was the best of times. Although, really, I think it was on Gaming Show where Tom Pinoy tried to quote Shakespeare.
Was that from my donation?
I don't know, maybe, but I don't want to ever hear Tom Pinoy try to quote Shakespeare from memory again.
You know, next one I'm gonna ask him to do, and then I'll crop it and send it to you.
No,
And
God.
force you to listen to it over and over and over and over.
Oh, God. No.
It'll be "nah mean" every 2 sentences. Not even sentences,
Mhm.
just 2 words.
Rejoice. I will send this to you.
Nah mean.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know what. No. No, but
That's
he
what
was
I say
he was
whenever I
trying to remember Hamlet. The
Yo, what up, what up, what up, what up?
yeah, the to be or not to be speech.
I don't think so.
You're
Yeah,
not nah mean.
yeah, because it was he started off with, instead of doing the to be or not to be, that is the question. He started off with whether it is nobler in the mind, and I don't know what version that he was doing, the Tom Pinoy version, but he was not woof. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna quote Shakespeare, you really should quote Shakespeare, not what you thought Shakespeare was saying. That just kind of speed bumped me, dude. I was like, don't go near it if you don't know it. That's
Don't go chasing one.
yes. Oh, good God, what was that? I think that was a piece of lung coming up. Oh,
Yum.
oh. Well, yeah, the doctor that I talked to, they were like, oh, well, with pulmonary embolisms, you're going to probably end up hacking up some stuff even when you're not sick. And I'm like, really? Did you need to tell me that? Yeah, I'm just, nah. That's information you just could have left out of the brochure. I'd have been okay with that. Let's see. Okay, the last time I heard from Cadunt was 4:30. So I'm going to guess that she is down and out. But we have a little bit of time before 5 o'clock, so we should probably go ahead and become shillerific. And let me see if I can get the actual... There it is. Ads for others. Oh, and it started off with her loot boxes. Well, what do you know? Okay, so we went top to bottom last time. We go bottom to top this time. Fire, is there anything that you would like to shill?
Not for me, but for my husband. He streams on Twitch every night, except for coming up tomorrow because we're going to fancy hotel. At TTV Rust and Salt on one word.
Is there a link you would like to put in the chat?
Yes, I'm trying to grab that, and I also made a pop-out chat, so I can't fucking find it. There it is.
That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, Pickle stopped by.
Yep.
Rolled by.
Is Dead by Daylight the one where you got like it's a co-op trying to stay away from serial killers or
Yes.
or movie killers? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I remember.
And I have to mute.
Oh, and you can also play as the person. You can play as the person killing or the 4 people trying to get away.
I'm trying to remember. They just brought in like a big horror icon character, because they did kind of like the ghost chick from any type of J horror that you can think of, because they always have some type of ghost chick.
Yeah, that one's called The Spirit.
But I'm trying to think of
They
the
also
one that they
in
just brought
the
in.
thing, the Demogorgon.
No,
And they also just brought it. No, they brought in the Oni, or Oni, whatever. It's a samurai dude.
no, I'm trying to think if they actually brought a licensed character in this year.
Ash from Evil Dead, and Harrington, and whatever the girl's name is from Stranger Things.
Oh, you mean as playable characters like heroes?
Yeah, and then the Demogorgon as the killer. From Stranger Things.
I gotta say, until I see a
I was
picture
just
of it.
thinking about the game called Friday the 13th, which is similar but not.
Well, I know Friday the 13th is going to get back underway because, from what I've been told, the pending lawsuit is almost over. So they're going to try to kick that back into gear.
Oh, that's good for them.
Okay, I don't watch much Stranger Things, so okay, that really doesn't look like a super frightening kind of character. Kind of looks douchey. Like
Who? Which one?
the Demogorgon.
Oh, well, it makes tunnels in the ground that look like buttholes. So
It looks like a bad version of the plant from Little Shop of Horrors.
kind of, but it's angrier.
Yeah. Nah, I can't say that I like it.
12 or 13 killers.
But I do like watching him. Because Blackout used to play all the time. But yeah, I guess Ash was the one. I don't remember them adding it. There we go. Wait a minute, let me take a look here. Nurse, Hag, Hillbilly, Plague, Huntress, Shape, Doctor, Cannibal, Ghostface, Pig, Clown, Spirit, Trapper, Wraith, Nightmare, and Legion. I don't know. Have I seen Legion? That one's not ringing a bell.
No, Legion is annoying. Just because they just run around really fast and stab you and you really can't get away. It's kind of like a play on the Ghostface one, which is from Scream. But
Yeah, but they've got Ghostface.
now they got a license for it, yeah.
Well, they supposedly had a license for Candyman, but I have not seen that one. I don't. Okay, this is a creation of the game Legion.
hmm And then Pig is Amanda from Saw.
And Nightmare's Kruger.
Shape is Myers.
Yeah.
I'm back. What'd I miss?
Oh, we're
Nothing.
we were just talking about the killers that are in Dead by Daylight.
Ah, yes.
So wait a minute, why do they call Leatherface Cannibal?
They didn't have the license for the name. They had the license for his looks.
That's fucking weird.
Well, some of them they don't exactly call them by their names. They do for a lot for the hero characters, but for the killers, they give them like cryptic names, to make them sound mysterious.
Well, yeah, like Freddy's is Nightmare.
Yeah.
But I love that song.
Freddy. It's remake Freddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't really. Yeah, it looked like not the one that we like.
But you can get Steve and Nancy from Stranger Things and the Demogorgon.
I don't care about Stranger Things though.
Well, you can play Ash
But
when he's dead.
I'd be okay playing Ash.
But you can get Steve in his Scoops outfit.
Yeah, that's adorable. I was so happy they had that. I was like, they better fucking put this in the game.
I don't know the reference that you're making because I watched it. I watched season 1 and I'm like, meh, this is okay. It's nostalgia. It's gonna burn out quick.
In season 3, he starts working at an ice cream shop in the store, and they make him wear a sailor outfit.
Well, no, I tried to get through 2, season 2, and I'm like, this just sucks.
Uh,
And then people are like, oh no, they came back in season 3. So I watched season 3, and I'm like, okay, it doesn't suck as bad as 2, but it still sucks.
I
I still
I
like it.
really I only really like season 1. The other seasons were not that good to me. Like I thought they were kind of boring and dull, and like they had a lot of action and parts where you're like kind of bored, and I just didn't fucking like it.
Well, yeah, that's the
Was
thing.
it-
If it was one season, it was just season 1, they milked the nostalgia just right. Then they just tried to, like when you get a jar of peanut butter and there's only that little bit that somebody left in the bottom, and you try to get as much out as possible and spread it as thinly as possible to cover the bread. That's what I thought season 2 and 3 was. It's like, okay, you guys have already milked it for what it's worth.
I don't think that that's ever happened to me.
God, no, Deb, help! Deborah, no! Deborah, no! God damn it! No, don't touch me.
What the hell?
Okay.
What was that, Fire?
Oh, you could hear that? I don't know why my headset goes to my mic. I was watching a clip.
Ah.
Okay.
Okay, blame the headset. It's a hand-me-down.
No, we're blaming you.
Oh, that's fine. You want to see the clip?
No. Because they're trying to close. So, Pickle, would you please show?
I'm the Full Metal Pickle. You can find me over at the Full Metal Pickle channel. I do a late night stream now called Nocturnal Transmissions, your midweek pre-IRS destination. It starts at midnight Eastern, and come join in the oddness that is the show, or awkwardness, or whatever.
There might be jocularity, but you have to tune in and find out.
Mm-hmm.
I like the word jocularity. It almost sounds dirty. Something that gaming might actually say. Speaking of gaming,
I got a channel. Subscribe.
you really put some oomph behind that.
You know it.
I have I'm gonna put one of these under my tongue, and then I'll do my shilling.
Why would you put it underneath your tongue?
Because it dissolves, and when you have a pill under your tongue, right there, because of the blood vessels that are there, it absorbs it quicker.
Huh. I never knew that.
Yeah, it's an old person thing.
Or if you take B2 dissolvables, they do the same.
We can't hear you.
If you take vitamin B12 or something, you put it on your tongue.
Or and I learned that because they thought I was having a heart attack, and they put the nitroglycerin pill under my tongue, and I'm like, why are you doing that? Oh, blood vessels, blah blah blah. And I was like, does that work with like anything? And they're like, well, yeah, we guess. And it's like, all right, cool. I will adapt that. Okay, there we go. I you know what? The 290 something times that I've said this, I still have to look it up in the fucking descriptor. God, I'm getting old. So yeah, if you're looking to see what my co-host is up to, well, her Twitter and her YouTube is down there at the bottom of the descriptor. Please feel free, like, share, subscribe, and follow, but follow at a distance, because Canuck will slap a bitch. And we didn't do too many no context tweets this evening, but the very first link is my Twitter. So instead of having to middle around trying to find us on Twitter and see the creative visualizations that we've come up with, yeah, just click the link. It'll get you there. You don't have to follow, but you do have to enjoy. Yes, you are correct. Nitroglycerin does give you a fucking headache, like a motherfucker. Especially when you're not actually having a heart attack. Below that is my Streamlabs. That's where the boss battle is held. And we congratulate Turish. Day number 7, show number 17 in the bag. He is
Congrats, Mr. Goat.
He is the greatest of all time. And good God, man, if somebody doesn't knock him out soon, I don't think anybody ever will be able to. But we congratulate you because that's you're just setting and breaking records like every fucking show, and I like that. Also below that is my Patreon, and that's where I get my booze money from. So if you're contributing there, I do not consider you a patron. I consider you an enabler, and I thank you for that. And let's see, gotta take a drink of water here for this one. Because Kadant, well, I guess she did the TeePublic. You know what? It's been such a long time since I've done it. Okay, well, that I've done it and I haven't been lost in an ambient haze. For the finest in bootleg Medicare merchandise, stop by Doc Griffin's TeePublic Store. That's right, Doc Griffin's TeePublic Store. Now featuring new designs including the Cadence of Bitches, the Sir Adamantine Alcohol Philosophy, and Insomnia Ramble Stream shirts. So stop by Doc Griffin's TeePublic Store and buy something. Damn it. And with that, I'd like to thank everybody who was on the show this evening, which includes Full Metal Pickle, 3-Force Yoda, Samaj, Octane Gamer, Golden Bonnie, Gaming and Yelling, Fire, and Watch. And of course, the show itself, that's only 50%. The other half comes in the chat. And we love people when they interact with us. Who knows? If you've got a great take on something, we're going to get you in the Discord, get you on the stream. And who knows? We might even make you monkey ass famous at the chaotic crossroads of the overnight internet. So for my mystical, magical, malevolent, magnificent, in no way manly co-host Kadant, and myself, Doc Griffin. Thanks everybody for coming out this evening. And if you would please just do me one simple favor. Leave the money on the dresser. Bye.